People like watching the stream where we hang out with.
Yeah. And now he's gone silent because I can't hear anything. Hey, Snowmeath.
Yeah, I just switched the video. I also realized I didn't change the title of the stream. So it's gonna say Pokemon.
I will point out that I always say to Joe, I'm ready when you are. And it's not to hurry him along. It's just I'm ready. And then Joe takes it as a kind of, I need to hurry up because now Cleo's waiting for me.
Well, also, like, I mean, we are running 5 minutes behind, like, when we normally go live, so it's like, it's time to hit the button,
regardless.
Yeah. Dang it.
I mean, that's true, but I don't, people are okay when we're a bit late. They kind of expect it from us.
Well, I'm just gonna change all the, stream details over on
Okay.
everything.
You do what you need to do.
Okay.
I should probably, you know what? You can stay in emote only mode for a bit. It's fine. You're all fine. So I'm working on my bullet journal today. Joe's doing some colouring because, sometimes we need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that. And today is one of those times.
Yeah.
Sorry, Snowmeath. He's just stuck now. I mean, I could try and work it out,
Dang it. I just... that cube of pixel magnets?
Uh-huh.
It just fell onto the mic stand.
Oh, dear.
And when it hit the tripod leg, it scattered and shattered into a bunch of little magnetic cubes, which are all now clinging to the mic stand in a different way.
In a different way.
Okay. Edit stream info.
It's okay, Joe.
Arts and crafts with a zombie Cleo.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, I'm continuing on with my bullet journal. I'm doing plants. Why is my model in Cleo mode? Oh, I hit a button, obviously. There you go. She's now free to not Cleo.
Okay.
No Cleo. You have to earn a Cleo.
Things are hitting other things that shouldn't be hit. Okay. I'm gonna have to mute my mics while I move some stuff.
You do that, Joe. I'm right here. I'm just chatting with everybody who's just walked in. Cleo has escaped for another day. The thing is that she never escapes. You do. That's the difference. That's the Cleo difference. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. It's fine. It's fine. You love the plant theme. Yeah, I do like plants. Plants are cool. And I'm obsessed with green at the moment. Green is my favorite color just in general, but at the moment I'm feeling particularly green. So, I think it's because winter has felt long, and I feel like I need kind of green in my life. So.
So I need to open a window that shows your stream as well.
Good morning, lovely people. I hope you're doing well. No, Grave. Joe is aware about his title. He's sorting it out now. We're all good.
I already changed it.
See?
You have to refresh.
Really, that's your fault, guys.
Yeah, you didn't refresh. That's on you.
Yep. I mean, this seems to be a fairly common thing with the craft streams anyway. It's early where Joe is. You need to forgive Joe for the earliness. That's how this works.
Forgive me.
Or don't, you do you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be nice if you did. Mm-hmm. You've got crafting for great game raids. Oh my goodness, that sounds like... Are you talking like D&D? Because that's always fun.
Okay. I can have my coffee. I can do some coloring.
Joe's having a bit of a chill time.
Yeah, Cleo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
I was narrating you, don't worry.
Okay. I was like, is Cleo listening to what I'm doing?
I'd rather not, but I am. We're not early. We are exactly on time. In fact, we were
5
late.
minutes late. Yeah, if anything.
Sorry, Graves. You couldn't forgive for earliness, but we're not early. We're arguably, you should be angry because we're late, but, you know, we have a whole 5 minutes late.
So, we've got the reflection on Lake Misaka here.
It's 8:38 where you're located. Yeah, I mean, I actually had a stream schedule. And I've stuck to it for like
Nice.
2 whole days. Thank you for the bits, Cheese. You always start the stream as I'm leaving to pick up the kids. Be like, I mean, it's on a schedule. What can I say? We've scheduled this. It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can, you know, I understand that you might not get to see everything you want, but, you know, there's only so much responsibility I'm willing to take here, to be honest.
Yep. And I'm posting a link in my chats to the Met Museum's page about this particular piece of art. The reflection in Lake Misaka in Kai Province.
Sounds nice.
Mm-hmm. From the series 36 Views of Mount Fuji.
Oh, you did that one, but you did something from that series before, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, because it's a coloring book of stuff from the same woodblock artist.
That'd be why.
Katsushika Hokusai.
Yeah. Even even Anna has this stream in her calendar. You know, this is a regular stream. This is like my only regular stream.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like most, like you have like a schedule. I have when I feel like it. I stream every day, but it's you know, it's more kind of I could stream rather than anything else. So you know, it is what it is.
Well, I've been streaming a little bit more since I got this Pokemon Legends Arceus game because it's like super duper good. And
Oh, really?
like, yeah. So every time, like when I get home, it's like either I'm gonna immediately go take a nap after I drop my kid off at school, or I'm gonna stream Arceus and then take a nap. But yeah, if I take the nap first, then I go stream Arceus until I pick her up.
Yeah, I'm having problems with the camera. You know, we're just gonna have to deal. I keep on trying to sort them out, and it just doesn't work. So it's all good. So sorry, but not that sorry. If you know what, if you get my drift.
But yeah, Cleo, you mentioned you hadn't really played much Pokemon when I was drawing them.
No, not since Gen 1. Sorry?
Did you enjoy Breath of the Wild?
I've never played Breath of the Wild.
Gotcha. Okay, because this new Pokemon game is like a combination of old school Pokemon and Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
They did a shockingly good job of it. Like, the graphics look like EverQuest from 2002, but
that's not reassuring, you know?
I wasn't saying it to be super reassuring. Although I will say, did you play EverQuest back in the day?
No, I do remember watching people play it though.
But yeah, like as I'm playing this game, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks to being like a sophomore in high school playing EverQuest.
It's quite cute.
It really is. It's and it's just like all the same graphical problems that have been like solved problems in software for, you know, decades. Nope, they're right back in this modern Nintendo Switch game. And I'm just like, did they do this up? There's no way that they would have intentionally tried to capture this as an art style because it wasn't good. And then Penny Arcade even had a comic where they were like, Pop-In is not an artistic choice or whatever. Like just the way the graphics render is super.
Pop-In could be an artistic choice if that's the choice you're making.
Oh, but like, so for example, you might see a bird Pokemon in the distance, and it's like, oh, it's really cool that you can see them from so far away, because like in the original games, they were just like random attacks, like, you know, we used to be walking around the map, and just like suddenly a battle begins. It's like, oh, I can see this bird Pokemon like all the way across over there. But like the thing is, when things are beyond a certain distance, they render at like 1 frame every 2 seconds, and so
Oh.
it like the bird would alternate between wings up, wings down, wings up, wings down, wings up, wings down, like a flip book, but not flippy, not very quick. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Like they should just at that point have the bird in a gliding pose, right? And
I
don't animate
guess.
the bird.
I guess.
Because if it's a far away bird, you don't need to see its silhouette flapping every other second.
You don't need it, but you know,
It's nice to have.
it's a nice to have, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. None of these wires are optimal.
You're having problems there, Joe.
Constantly.
I feel we caught Joe on one of those just on the edge of a breakdown moments.
No, but like I know the thing is, I don't really mind that nothing's working. I'm not like, oh my god, Cleo, nothing's working. I'm just like looking around, like, yep, nothing's working. Like,
Okay, fair enough.
Like just because nothing here is set up properly doesn't mean I'm not like too tired to understand how bad that is.
Okay. Okay, Joe. You're safe here, Joe. It's fine.
I know. Thank you, Cleo.
That's all right. I try. Kitty, I realise you're on your chair, and that means you get pets, but not all the pets. Some of the pets.
Pets. Nothing but pets. Twitch chat.
What do you mean 45?
I already changed it to art. Dang it! Why didn't it take?
I'm gonna guess because Twitch is like that.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna have a breakdown because I hate Twitch.
I mean, of all the things to have a breakdown over, you know.
Yeah.
I can at least get behind that one.
Mm-hmm.
45 subs so far today. Really? Well, I've not known. Oh god, that's people resubbing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Okay. Yay.
Is that gonna cause one of those trains? Do we need the train?
Oh no, it's not gonna cause like not a hype train, but we added like a cumulative jump scare because I've got a really big jump scare. So if I scream, that's what it is.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
it's at the 100 mark, and it never got played. So we took it down to a cumulative. It still plays at the 100, but we took it down to a cumulative one now. So yeah, if we get like cumulatively 150 subs, it'll play then. But we made it so it tortures the audience as well. So that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Hey Push, how you doing?
Yeah. Also, I just posted a link to a close-up of one of the original prints photographed by the Met Museum. Do you mind if I link that in your chat too?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Joe is making
So
pretties.
Yep, this is what I'm trying to color in.
Aren't those subs from last stream? The sub counter should reset every day. But I don't know when it counts as a day, to be honest.
Oh, see, that's why I do all my stuff at 6 a.m. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania time. Anything that needs to reset. Because the thing is, you don't want it to reset every midnight because, you know, you might be streaming at midnight, right? But, like, I only stream, like, that early, 6 a.m. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania time, like, for, like, big Hermitcraft stream days or, like, charity stuff. So, when everything resets in the middle of my stream, it's part of a big deal, you know? And I have a special reset song.
Do you? I don't think I've ever heard that.
Oh, yeah, it's, my brother and his girlfriend doing an Out Ska Country cover of I Got You, Babe.
Oh my god, yeah, no, I get that reference. Never really liked Groundhog Day as a thing. I don't know why. It's alright, but it's like,
Is it because you don't like Bill Murray?
Bill Murray's all right. It's just one of these things. Has Corpse got a YouTube channel? No. Well, Corpse does have a YouTube channel, but they are currently doing school for the last few years, so they don't have time to also do a YouTube channel. I should have really paid attention to that as a teacher, shouldn't I?
Ghost Hunters is also one of those games like Ghostbusters, which has Bill Murray in it. Do you hate Ghostbusters too, Cleo? Let's just go through all the Bill Murray movies. The Man Who Knew Too Little, where he visits London. Did you hate that one?
I've never seen that one.
Oh, well, you should.
Is it because I hate Bill Murray though? Is the question that I've never seen?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so the premise is that he's going to visit his brother, who's like an investment banker or something in London, and he's like this like small town auto parts salesman from like Ohio or whatever, and it's his first time, coming to across the ocean, and it's his birthday,
Right.
and so he flies across the ocean to surprise his brother on his own birthday. Like, look, it's my birthday, and I'm here in London to visit you. And his brother has this big important business dinner, so he says, "Hey, you know what? I'll get you tickets for this interactive theater experience. It's super expensive, but I'm an investment banker, so whatever,
Yeah.
And so he gets some tickets to this thing, and so he's told he's supposed to go to this particular phone booth and wait for a call, and like it's like a tour of London with it's supposed to be like a dramatic experience, and he goes to the phone booth and ends up accidentally picking up a call for us, like a Russian like assassin.
All right.
And so he's basically taken on the role of this Russian assassin by accident. And meanwhile, this Russian assassin is going through London on this theater program. And so it's called The Man Who Knew Too Little because he's acting as of course the Russians eventually realize he's not their guy, and so they assume he's some sort of American CIA like super agent or something. Like, who is this guy? He came out of nowhere. He got off a commercial flight from Ohio to who's in Ohio, So yeah, it's basically the Bill Murray wandering around London doing spy stuff by accident. And and there's things too, because he like constantly thinks he's like not sure what the limitations of like the interactive theater experience are.
Yeah.
And so there's a thing where like somebody tries to like rush into a room with a gun just as he's like getting up and turning, and he like knocks the gun out of their hand, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, picks up the gun. He's like, "Oh, is this you dropped this, right?" Like pointing it right at them. You know what? Here, do you want to take this back and try coming in the door again? And they're just like, "Oh my god, he's so cold." he's mocking us. It's like like, "Oh, you had a whole thing you were gonna do." Like, I would love, yeah. Why don't? It's pretty funny.
That does sound pretty cool. Yes, Bill Murray was the guy in Zombieland, arguably his seminal work.
He does play himself in Zombieland, though.
He does. So it's not really acting at that point.
Yeah. Whereas in The Dead Don't Die...
Not seen that either.
Oh, well, that's Bill Murray and Adam Driver are small-town cops in, I believe, Pennsylvania. And there's like an alien or zombie problem or something. And it's basically one of those movies where a bunch of famous people wanted to hang out with each other.
Right.
And so they basically tried to figure out what they could get away with. And so they're kind of making fun of people who make movies to hang out with their friends too.
Right.
So Adam Driver and Bill Murray are driving in like the first scene of the movie, and this song comes on the radio that was just in the opening credits. Bill Murray's like, "I feel like I just heard this song." And Adam Driver's like, "Oh yeah, it was over the credits." Stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I see.
I'm just gonna, you should probably change the subject at some point because I can
Oh no, that's fine. You can
stupid movie Bill Murray has ever made.
Do it. Dare ya? Do it.
Let's see. Juliet Sierra says, "Okay, but we want Hermitcraft." Bill Murray wants Hermitcraft too, and look where it got him. In Cleo's least favorite movie, Groundhog Day, apparently.
I didn't say it was my least favorite movie. That goes to Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you don't want to. It's awful. It's a comedy I saw that, like, I remember going to see it with my mum because it was just sort of like, it's the only thing that I was able to watch at the cinema at that particular time. And I just had, like, something to do with my teeth and it was a treat. And then, yeah, no, we both hated that because it was a terrible movie. It's full of people trying to be funny. And not actually.
I'm not sure what the worst movie I've ever actually sat through in a theater is.
Oh, to be fair, I also hate Existence.
Wait. Is that the name of a movie? Because I thought you were gonna say like something like "I hate existential theater."
No, Existence is the name of a movie. Thank you, Snowme, for the 5 community gift subs. I appreciate that. No, it's a sci-fi movie which is terrible. It's about people getting into interactive gaming by putting an organic component in the back of their neck hole, which has been made. Anything that has a neck hole in it should probably...
The Matrix has a neck hole in it.
Yeah, I know.
You hate the Matrix too?
Well, I think it was trying to play off the popularity of the Matrix.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was a kind of like, are we in? Is this reality or is this the fake reality that the Hujima flips have done? It was garbage. But I remember watching that with my friend, and he seemed to think it was all right, and it was like, oh, I thought it was terrible, and he didn't understand that. So.
Also, thank you to Yasmin, real quick, for the tip of 10, who says, "Howdy, Joe. Not sure what to say here. I hope you have an amazing day." Hope you do too, Yasmin. Thank you so much. That puts us 10 away from the next face camera expansion, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat.
Yeah, to be fair, you don't have to say anything, to be honest. Just say hi, and then we shall also say hi. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I'm so tired. I'm like, who are we saying hi to? Oh, yeah, Yasmin.
Yeah, it was the one with the organic game console.
Saying hi to us. I'm like,
breathe, Joe. Breathe. It's okay. It's okay. Scalpel.
Oh boy. I actually tried to go to bed on time last night and everything, and
I've not been going to the gym on Wednesdays. Because I've been waking up too late. So I made a specific effort to wake up really early today and go to the gym. And I did it.
Yay.
And now I'm sore. You got your neck ultrasounded yesterday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've only ever had my heart ultrasounded.
I have also had my heart ultrasounded. I can't remember exactly why. I don't think they knew exactly why. Oh no, I remember. It was I'd had they thought I had some kind of arrhythmia, which I don't. Block Engineer resubscribed for 11 months. Thanks for 11 months. Can't wait for 1 year. Well, choo. Indeed, Joe. You caught it, did you?
Banner pop up, and I was like, why is there a banner here? Oh, it's time to do the thing.
It's time to do the whistle.
Everybody whistle.
Everybody whistle. Woo woo. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. I appreciate the hype train. Oh. Use me because they kind of act like siblings. I mean, to be fair, me and Joe have known each other for 10 years now. So
11.
No, that's not true. It can't be 11.
I've known you since before I was on Hermitcraft, and Hermitcraft is going to hit 10 years in April.
Well, that's horrific. Thank you, JT, for the 9 months subby. Appreciated. I'm just going to live in denial and say that's just not true. It's not going to hit.
I think in one more year I'll have known you for a third of my life.
I'm horrified by that thought, and I've known you're a quarter of mine, so that just comes from being older than you. So, yep. Okay, I need a quote. Brain quote. Let me think. A quote for my quote page. Oh yeah, that'll do. I like how I just like the important part of the quote page is having
the
one.
Theme's plants, right? And you need quotes about plants.
No, I just need an inspirational quote.
Something like, follow your dreams.
Well, I've got a quote, but it's just,
Or how about this? Dream of more follows. There you go. That's aspirational, and it plays to streamers' love of numbers getting bigger. Oh man, I have lost like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube since Hermitcraft season.
Yeah, I've lost a few. So
yeah, I was looking at it the other day because I opened up the thing to check my comments because people do sometimes comment on the VODs from the Pokemon things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, hey, you're losing thousands of subscribers, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean,
thanks.
No offense, but I think I've lost like 500. It's not a huge cut.
It doesn't matter.
No,
it's not people that were paying for me to do this work anyway.
No,
right?
No.
It's not like, oh no,
I've done a terrible thing. No, it's fine.
And most of those are going to be people that just followed me 7 years ago, and their accounts are now deactivated.
Yeah.
From inactivity.
Arguably, yeah. It's not a huge deal that people seem to make it out to be. I mean, granted,
you're a bigger streamer when, or you've made it when you're just like, I lost a few hundred more viewers.
I mean, it's Hermitcraft. Like when Hermitcraft comes back, we'll gain more. It's just.
But the thing is, though, the reason the numbers are negative, like I was losing those people from inactivity and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You just don't see it when you're also adding enough new viewers that
to
it's
count it.
Positive.
Yeah.
Like, so you're losing those viewers no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would just be gaining replacements, which I'm not doing right now.
Arguably, yeah. I mean, it's not huge. Cleo went full time. Let's follow to support and probably never watch. Yeah, I mean that's I think a large part of anything, to be honest. People go, oh, that seems like a good thing to follow, and then no one ever follows through. I don't follow through on everything,
Well, also, like, some people, will go through cycles where they're like, oh, I'm going to watch a bunch of YouTube. And then they're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to binge watch this show. Or, like, for me, I'm listening through all of the audiobooks of The Expanse right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the 5th one out of 9. And so I just kind of, like, I'm taking a break from my podcasts and YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I forgot how good these books are. I want to know what happens next, Because normally when I was cooking, I'd put on a podcast or a YouTube show, and now I'm like, let me listen to this book. So
yeah, that's entirely reasonable,
Yeah. But then I'm going to be tired of books on tape for a little while after I complete that, and then I'll go back to
and then
YouTube.
And then Hermitcraft, and it's like Hermitcraft will come up, and then you don't have time to do anything anymore.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I still have time to. Well, I have to make time to cook and clean, Cleo. So, like, I'm going to listen to.
Do you?
I can't. Yeah, so that was one of the nice things about my old kitchen, was my old kitchen had a place I could put my laptop. So I used to actually be able to review footage. I couldn't do, like, fine detail editing, but I could at least, like, put on, like, an hour-long recording and, like, occasionally press a button to mark, okay, this is a good bit, this is a good bit,
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I used to do some kind of, like, rough pass of editing or footage review while I was cooking, but now I can't do that because my laptop doesn't fit in there. So it's like, I'll put a podcast, or I can put my phone in one of the cabinets with a YouTube show playing or something.
Yeah.
That doesn't require a lot of visual attention.
We're all good here. We're all good.
Some of us are chaotic good.
I mean, that's just you. That's definitely not me.
Zombie Cleo, definitely not chaotic good. We'll put that on your mailbox next season.
Chaotic neutral, I think, is the term that I prefer.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so that's the thing, though, about, like, you know, when people are like, oh, yeah, choose your alignment. If you're actually chaotic, there's a 90% chance that you should probably claim to be neutral or lawful anyway.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like, you know, if people are like, hey, which Star Trek character are you the most like? If the answer is Elim Garak, you say Geordie LaForge.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
Right. 100%. Yes.
Coffee.
I mean, chaos is its own reward, to be honest. You don't need... That wasn't supposed to be the thing that got you. Not gonna lie.
But also all the other rewards, too.
None of them as good.
Okay.
So much greenery on the March page. Yeah, I mean, green is my favourite colour.
Well, and March is, you know, St. Patrick's Day month, and so...
And, yep, something I have never, ever celebrated.
You know, I could let you slide on not liking Groundhog Day. Is it just not a thing there?
I mean, it's a thing, but I don't drink.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that I don't
like...
drink, it's just I can't be bothered to drink, and it's just sort of like, eh.
Okay.
And also I'm British, I'm English, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that like an English thing that like, oh, we don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day because that's like appropriation from the Irish?
No, it's just... Just seems like an excuse to get drunk to me. For a lot of people,
Well, I mean...
and especially for people who aren't, you know, like Irish.
Mm-hmm.
So...
You know, it's also a day to celebrate, like, you know, driving snakes off of islands and, you know, stuff like that.
You see, that's something I've never done. So...
You've never driven snakes off an island?
No.
Oh, boy. You live on an island.
I know. And you know what? I've never seen a snake in the UK.
They must have beaten you to it somehow.
They drove themselves off the island, is what you're saying. Got to get away from that zombie Cleo.
Maybe for St. Patrick's Day... I should record a thing on Hermitcraft where we get snake skins, and like we do a reenactment of St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland.
Funny thing, Joe, you've seen my new skin.
Oh my gosh! What if I've got a stick and I'm like telling all
No,
the
no one else knows. Just you.
Okay.
It's secret, but you've seen my new skin.
Yeah.
But that's something we need to possibly work on in the future. Spoilers.
Duskadair says UK doesn't really do Saints' Days. Really? I feel like England has a whole, like, church. Doesn't the Church of England have Saints' Days?
No, Saints are Catholic.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I've seen Church of England churches with names like Saint whatever.
Oh, yeah, but Saints are Catholic, you know.
Okay.
Wish you were talented enough to do a bullet journal. Like, please remember this is my job. I am, you know, working right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you can't do something like this, then, you know, bear in mind that I'm currently working. So
let me fall out of this chair practically.
Okay, you do that.
Go get a book. It's like, look, yeah, if you don't have time to do a bullet journal the way Cleo does, You can just get a notebook. Like, here's a notebook. I didn't even pay for this notebook. NASA gave it to me. So thank you, the government, for a small tax refund in that way. But I could just come over here and I could write March, right?
Yep.
And I could say, oh, that's St. Patrick's Day, so we'll do a clover. And then I could put on there something. But look, I've already got my page for March.
Yeah.
It's not as pretty as Cleo's, but I have a page for March. Ta-da!
See, that's the thing. If you want to get organised and you want to do it by way of a bullet journal, just like the best way to figure out if you're going to keep at it is to do it for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I do mine, so I've kept at it, and now I can afford the time to make it pretty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's the inspirational quote that you've got there?
I've got the best way to predict the future is to create it.
Oh, that's good.
I know. I know.
You know, maybe the best way to rule the world is to create it. You know.
I mean, arguably, if I was creating the world, I would hope to rule it. You know, if I'm putting all that effort.
This is the metaverse plan.
Can somebody please explain clover versus shamrock to Joe? A clover is 3 leaves, a shamrock is 4, I guess.
Well, here in America, we call a shamrock a 4-leaf clover, and we call a fake rock show or a Christian rock show a shamrock.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, Joe. Yeah, you do.
Then one of my favorite lines from King of the Hill is, "Don't you boys know you're not making Jesus greater, you're making rock and roll worse."
And they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Doing what you love for a job really is the dream. I mean, I think me and Joe speak a lot about jobs as a on these streams, like a lot. But I would not exchange what I do now to go back to working for someone else. Mini cheese mouse cheered biddies, you are back indeed. A shamrock is 3-leaved. The entire lucky 4-leaf clover is pure British. Ah, okay, there you go. 3 leaves for explaining the Trinity is the mythos of the shamrock. Okay, now I learnt. Am I going to remember it? No. But thank you for teaching me.
So the shamrock is the lady in the Matrix.
I was trying to figure out where you were going to go with that one.
Okay. I mean, I got there. Just needed early.
Snow myth to your biddies. We're filling the ceiling, are we? Okay. Learning things you don't know with Arterial Red. Yeah.
Somebody, Cryptic Fen says, St. Patrick's are an invasive species that displace native reptiles. I think the proper plural is Saints Patrick. Like how if you have more than one iPhone, you have Eyes Phone.
Maybe. I don't know. Thank you for the biddies, Snow Myth again. I think my brain is spinning with non-native English. Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes here. What are you going to say, Joe?
I was gonna say, it feels like a lot of times because we only talk once a week, and I watch a lot of like TV and movies and stuff like while I'm cleaning or in the
Mm-hmm.
background. I actually sat down and watched a film with my daughter though recently. Like we talk about this stuff a lot though on these streams because
Mm-hmm.
also we have 4 hours to kill.
Yeah.
But have you seen Encanto yet?
No, it's on the list.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I watched it recently. Well, for one thing, my daughter saw it multiple times in French class, and
Why in French
uh,
class?
well, so
Thanks
apparently
for the
also
bits,
the French
McLesley.
teacher has been fired for only showing movies and never teaching French. Um,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, no, I had that same question, and well, she's like, it doesn't matter because I had to go to gym class again this week instead of French, and I was like, why? It's like, well, because a bunch of the kindergartners were talking in the hallway about how they were excited about movie day, and the principal asked them what movie day was, and they said, oh, that's what we call French day, because we only watch movies. And then the principal stormed over to the French room, and she was just sitting there showing the kids Encanto again. Was immediately fired on the spot.
Yeah, no, absolutely you're fired on the spot. What the hell?
Yeah. But you know, it's like it's not like my kid needs to know French anyway. She's not gonna be a diplomat.
I don't know, your kid might be.
No, her current thing is she's been learning about jobs working with the space program, and so she's excited to do something with data science or something with that. So that's good because you know I need to find some sort of incentive to keep her in school. Like,
yeah, that's the hard part, keeping her in school.
I mean, my parents barely kept me in school. Like, I didn't want to be there. I was done, you know? And part of it too though was that like any job that I thought was cool that I actually wanted to do that required a college degree, everybody kept talking me out of. I was like, you know, because
that seems counterintuitive.
well, yeah, like because it's like okay, well, like I thought it would be cool to do something in like engineering, but everybody who because I grew up in like a town. Have you seen like the show on Sci-Fi Channel Eureka?
Oh gosh, I think so, yeah. Like,
Yeah. So I grew up in a town like that, and so every engineer there worked for the government on classified projects, and so none of them could talk about what they did ever.
Oh.
And I love talking about what I'm doing.
Yeah, that seems like a bad Joe job.
Like, I didn't know anybody who worked in engineering who was allowed to talk about their jobs, you know. And so it was like, well, that's out. And then it was like other stuff where I was like, oh, well, it'd be interesting to do this in like, people are like, oh no, that's only a job for like people who are like from well-connected families. Like, even though you're smart and talented and hardworking, you're not gonna get a, you know, you don't have the in that industry, or you're not gonna be able to. And then so like eventually I'm just like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna join the military, because like apparently there's nothing for me to do. Like, especially because like at the time, like I like computer stuff, but you know, like I didn't want to do that for a living because it was my fun hobby, and if you turn your fun hobby into your job, who knows what'll happen. Well, I say that if you turn your fun hobby into a job and you're working for someone else,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like there's a reason Jonathan Larson never accepted work making musicals for other people, because he got offers when he was working at the diner to work on other people's shows, and he was like, no, because if I work in the diner all day, I can come home and write my own music. Yeah. But if I work on your music all day, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna be too tired to write my own stuff.
Makes sense to me.
You know? And so I was like, I want to do computer stuff, but like as a side thing, not as my job. But I ended up doing that anyway. I don't know. So, but like, yeah, when I had talked to people about like, oh, it'd be fun to do something with NASA, you know, not be an astronaut, but like do something with NASA, everybody's like, no, those government positions, you make no money, you have to work stupid long hours. And it's like, it turns out by the time I got out of college after the recession hit, either you didn't have a job or you made no money and worked stupid long hours anyway. But I was in an industry I didn't want to be in. it's like, sorry, I'm complaining a lot.
That's all right. No.
But-
We're here for it. We're here for it, Joe.
But like, yeah, it's just like, why should I stay in high school when there's no jobs that I want that really require a high school diploma? Like, because a lot of you know, it's like, why should I finish college? Why should I go to college if there's no jobs that I want that require a college degree? Like, I was just kind of like, look, I mean, I could just basically do what my dad did, and so there are certain industries where you can work your way up by being smart and hardworking.
Yeah.
And they don't care what degrees you have. And I'm like, I'll just go work in one of those, like manufacturing, and I'll work my way up, and I'll not go into a ton of debt. And I mean, it took me a decade to pay off that debt, so I wasn't wrong about that. That debt was objectively horrific, you know?
Objectively horrific. Manufacturing sucks.
Well, I mean, I've
Vacancy.
worked in manufacturing over the summers while I was in college, and honestly, if I hadn't stumbled into the job I got straight out of college, by randomly trying to help a guy with a website, like I wasn't asking for a job. I just felt bad for him. Like he was working on this really cool thing. Hey, thank you very much, Salamanders, for the 5. That puts us 5 away from the next Face Camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So yeah, this guy gave this presentation about this thing he was working on, and they had put an insane amount of effort and time and things into it. And people kept asking, like, well, why did you have to come here and talk to us about this? This should be on the internet.
Wow.
Like, everybody loved what he was doing, but they're like, this is stupid that I couldn't find any information about this before this meeting.
Yikes.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So
People are charming, aren't they?
You want me to throw this on the internet for you? And he's like, okay, what's your time worth? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm making $12 an hour right now in the school cafeteria, so maybe I should say 15? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and when I worked in manufacturing, like, I was running a third of the night shift at a styrofoam factory, and I had already signed on to do ROTC, and so when they offered to let me stay on and run the entire night shift that fall, I was like, I've got this government commitment, I gotta go back. Sorry, but like, it would have been better probably for my whole life if I just worked at the styrofoam plant. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'm glad you didn't. Purely selfishly.
I mean, I think I still would have been doing this creative stuff on the side like this.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because I was already like writing things and putting things out on the internet and stuff, and like, yeah.
Fair enough.
I just wouldn't have had quite as much crippling debt.
It's funny how that goes.
Yeah.
Organic chemistry is the chemistry that weeds out pre-meds in college. Yep.
So anyway, I'm just glad that my daughter has found a reason to stay in school, and I'm trying to be supportive of that and encourage her to learn more about research opportunities with data that comes back from space. That was my point of this whole thing, was like, I want to be supportive of her in ways that people couldn't find to be supportive of me. And part of that too is like the argument of, well, there is still always some like, well, it helps if you know the right people. But like, I know people now who are NASA researchers. Right? Like, yeah. I have connections my parents didn't, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I can say, hey, we're gonna go to this conference and we're gonna go see this person give a talk, and like, she can see that, like, oh, okay, this is a real thing that people can do.
It works if it works.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, Blaze the Banana. People are pointing out that Encanto is not even French. You could get away with it in Spanish class, maybe. Yeah, but it is not anywhere close to French.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
However, I admire the audacity.
Yeah.
As a teacher, sometimes there is somebody who just has given up.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, though, is, well, the French teacher was a recent hire, too, so I don't think that they gave up. I think they didn't know how to speak French from the beginning, and were just wanting to see how long they could draw a check before anyone noticed.
That's a statement I didn't expect to hear, but...
What?
Just trying to draw a check, just being hired and not being able to speak French.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing, though, is, let's say that, let's say that I don't even know what this person's, like, qualifications were. Like, they probably at least had a teaching degree, but maybe not.
That's terrifying. Thank you, Artisy, for the biddies.
But, like, because there's certain programs where it's like, if you are working toward a teaching degree, so, like, which technically means if you were enrolled in some after-hours courses toward a teaching degree. But they could have enrolled in those courses but not actually be doing them, too, right?
I guess. Jesus, that's terrifying. As a teacher, having somebody who's not qualified teaching is a whole mess of liability waiting to happen. It's good that I missed out that letter. That means I wasn't happy with it looking how it looks already because it's too big. So now I can make it smaller. It's fine. I can just squidge and add in another letter. It's fine. I'm so glad you pointed that out to me. Thank you. Thanks. No, I would have preferred you point it out to me than I start knackering it up.
Oh, yeah. Future does have 2 U's, doesn't it? I wasn't looking too closely. The pencil lines don't show up.
It was predict. I missed out the D. F-U-T. There's a T there. R-E. And I spelled future as well. I'm a teacher.
So you misspelled. So you had 2 words you needed to write down.
Yep.
You missed a letter from each of them.
Yep. I'm a teacher.
Hey, thank you very much, Matthias.
And I'm a qualified teacher at that.
Yeah, that puts us 15 past our first Face Gamer expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to say, howdy, y'all. JoeHills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And we also got another tip rolling in from Cryptic Fen for 22. So let's see, we were 15 away from that next expansion. Now we are 7 past. Boom. So here we go. It's time to... Where's the mouse cursor? Grow Hills. Dee. Alrighty. Yay.
The pandemic we're enduring teacher shortage. Many states that are hiring temps that only have an associate's and 2 years of higher education. I'm focused on the conversation. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you had a chance to talk to Joe, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I talk to myself all the time.
Yeah, fascinating. That's the problem, Joe. That's your biggest problem. You're just too fascinating.
Well, I told you that even my ex-wife said that. Because at one point, I was no, I'm serious. Like when she left me, I said at one point, like, I know that, like, we haven't been able to spend a lot of time together lately because of your school and stuff. Because she was working on her PhD then, but like it seemed like every time we talked that, like, you know, we were really getting along well. And she said, I didn't love you, but you were always entertaining. And so, like, I was just
wow,
like, oh.
That's a statement.
Yeah, and so, like, that was really kind of one of those things where it's just like, okay, so, great. Like, I used to think, like, oh, I'm glad I found somebody who like, cause, especially because, you know, I was working on building this, like, YouTube thing and all this stuff, and I was like, I'm glad I found somebody, you know, when I had nothing. You know, I had
Yeah.
literally negative anything. I had tens of thousands of dollars in debt when I met her, and it's like, oh, here's somebody who loves me for me, not because I'm like famous or making a ton of money or anything. And it's like, nope. It turns out like just being entertaining was
Enough.
like a liability.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
It's a big oof. Thanks for the biddy socks. Appreciated. I just I don't really have words for that.
Yeah, so it's like I'm so entertaining it's a liability is what I'm learning.
Dear God, that's a line to get into, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah. Dangerously amusing.
Dangerously amusing.
my amusement is a danger to myself and others.
Yeah, no, I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not at all bunched up, but I have decided not to care. It's fine. It's all squidged. Nothing is okay, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. Not caring is a way of life sometimes. Sometimes it's the only way to go through and to get out the other side. You know. Hi, sorry, I forgot you were there. You've been so good.
Was the cat still on the cat chair?
Yeah.
It's just...
She just decided that I hadn't petted her enough, so she needed attention.
Well, that's actually really good patience, because, like, that's been a while.
I mean, yeah. Ceiling is still empty. Thank you for the bits, Kay. It's appreciated. Okay, Mono Mallow, that's a statement. Maybe therapy. I get you, but maybe not here.
K Mingo, thank you for the 20, who says, you're a bit small this morning. That puts us $7 past our... Wait. No, that puts us $13 past next face... Wait. 7...
Breathe, Joe. Think about
Math.
it. Math.
Okay,
Math.
I'm looking at the abacus. Okay, that puts us 17 past our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. Expand, Joe.
Thank you, Push, for the biddies.
I think I misread it last time. So yeah, we are 3 away now from the next face camera expansion.
And thank you for the biddy Snowmeath again.
Blaze the banana. Oh, go on.
Go for. Oh no, I'm just reading from you. Blaze has said.
Blaze says, sounds like you and your wife had a healthy parasocial relationship, not a healthy marriage. Well, it wasn't a parasocial relationship because she didn't, like, watch any of my shows, and they didn't exist really when we first met. Like, I was making comics back then, but, like, she hadn't read my comics before meeting me. We met through our siblings. So I don't think parasocial relationship is the correct thing there.
No.
Like, I think it was just I don't know, a one-sided relationship, maybe, in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, yeah. And I'm not going to go into any more detail about my thoughts and opinions. Oh, scatter the bits. Thank you for more biddies, Kay. It's appreciated.
You're looking a bit scattered there.
Scatter the bits.
Oh yeah, I've been doing so for the Pokemon Legends Arceus streams, which apparently I've done like 16 of.
Jesus, Joe.
Yeah, I'm like 50 hours into this game, and most of it's been streamed. But
I mean,
like,
I'm
and
saying.
I think it came out. Did it come out on Friday or did it come out the Friday before? I think it must have come out the Friday before. Yeah. It came out 2 Fridays ago.
Jesus, Joe.
But yeah, there's two warring clans, or not warring, but competing clans in
Both
there.
alike in dignity.
Yeah, in Fair Verona, where we lay our scene, where Ancient Grudge breaks to New Mutiny, and Civil Blood makes Civil Hands unclean. But anyway, so I've been practicing my voice acting a little bit. I gave one of the clans all Massachusetts accents and one of the clans all Scottish accents. And I thought, like, oh, this will make it easier when the leaders of the two clans are talking back and forth in the game and I'm reading the text out loud for people to tell which clan people are from, right? But then I got into scenes where there were like 2 or 3 people from each clan, and I'm like, now I have to do 3 different Scottish accents. And it's like, I don't know if I can, or 3 different Scottish voices, right? And 3 different Massachusetts voices. So it's like, you know, okay, how I got to practice my range a little bit, you know? So it's like, I don't have any text in front of me. And now that you've done this Romeo and Juliet thing, it's like all I can think about. But like,
Sorry?
dang it, Cleo. I tried to think of literally anything else I could say with this accent to demonstrate it. And all that's coming up is One Zephyr speaks with his sweeter breath, in spirit art and every old and eath. The tender croppers and the younger sona hath in the ram its half course Yorona. Which is not helpful because that's not even English, that's Middle English. There's gotta be something that I can but then it'd be like I curse McKilts. I can't do the Scottish one without being like luckily one of the Scottish leaders starts all of his sentences with or whatever, so I can be like ugh, and then like kind of switch. But an angry man, there's my story. The bitter rancor of Achilles, prince of the house of Peleus, which brought 1,000 troubles upon the Achaean host. Many a strong soul it sent down to Hades, and left the heroes themselves a prey to dogs and carrion birds, while the will of God moved on to fulfillment. Like, yeah, I'm trying to think like what I actually have memorized so I can like, yeah, but like, yeah, so I've been practicing a lot of different Scottish and Massachusetts voices this last few weeks.
Just fucking...
Blaze the Banana says, I honestly thought every character was Scrooge McDuck. Ah, now you're Uncle Donald.
Okay, fine, pets. There you go. Happy? Satisfied? No.
Adorable Muskrat says, ooh, I love this drawing. Thank you. I didn't draw it. I'm actually coloring it. It's a woodblock print by Hokusai. Rotation says, except for the characters that are JFK. Not everybody with a Massachusetts accent is JFK. How do you... Like, it seems like a lot of the viewers have never heard anybody from Massachusetts ever, except for JFK, and I don't know how that is. Massachusetts is a very populous state. Boston is huge. It's a big city. There's people from Boston everywhere.
Okay.
Sorry, go on.
I could not predict a Boston accent. I could not pick it out of a crowd of American accents. So, what can I say?
Wait, Boston is from Fallout?
Yeah.
Well, then don't they do the accents in the game?
You'd be surprised at what accents they do. There's a Russian from all the Russian people that have survived for 200 years from the bomb, apparently. And there is a British person in there. And I'm just like, oh, thanks, kitty. Thank you. Okay, that would be my cat.
You know, a lot of British people, you know, were there when Boston was founded.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay. Yep, this is one of the views of Mount Fuji, adorable muskrats. Good eye. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and link the original here. It's this JPEG I'm posting a link to.
Favorite
Is the
voice is Hancock. Yeah,
the original from the Met Museum.
Hancock is my favorite for reasons other than the fact that he's a ghoul.
Ghouls just wanna have fun. Oh, ghouls just wanna have fun.
We really do, Joe. We really do.
We just wanna. Mouse Mac Tips 5, who says, "Ah, yes, Scottish accent. I'm hoping mine hasn't wandered off by the time I hopefully meet you in person. I'm an accent chameleon." So thank you very much. That puts us $2 past our next Face Gamer expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to grow. Where's the thing? Grow Hills. And we are now, let's see, 18 away from the next Face Gamer expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yay.
Yay!
Okay, my keyboard is broken or something. That's bad.
I can hear the difference in English accents, like from England. I know, we were watching a baking show. We were actually watching the Great British Baking Show last night, and they were talking about the Scouse accent, and it's just sort of like trying to explain what the Scouse accent, when they said, it's proper Scouse, and it's like trying to explain what that actually means to somebody and have it make sense is just, it was tricky. McLeslie cheered biddies, thank you very much.
I think my favorite show for British accents is The Misfits. Did you watch The Misfits, Cleo? I think we talked about this.
Yeah, Misfits is great. Misfits is hilarious. It's crude as hell, but great.
It's so good. Because yeah, they're all like super. They're like living in government housing, and like, you know, very impoverished on the whole. So it's very like rough street accents and stuff. Not like, oh hey, here's some polished, you know, Thames accent or whatever.
Yeah. It's good.
Folia Blue writes, "I love the first 2 seasons of that. I was kind of sad when a lot of the main cast dropped off.
Yeah,
but it's still an interesting show.
I never really watched it after like, what's his doodle left?
Oh, the guy from Game of Thrones.
I don't know.
I was kind of dubious when they had the big cast shakeup, but they actually followed through pretty well on the whole.
The guy that played Klaus in Umbrella Academy.
I've only seen like 1 episode of Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I love Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I was visiting my mom and sister, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we love this show, and the finale's out, so we got to watch the finale." And I'm like, I have no idea what is going on.
You should. I feel like it's one of those shows that you should definitely watch.
Yeah, I don't know what service it's on here in the States. I'll probably check it out at some point.
But yeah, Misfits is great, and mostly because his character was great. He was the glue that held everything together, and I think when he left, I think he took a lot of the charm of the show with him.
Yeah, it was a fun execution of a premise that we've seen before.
Yeah,
which is like basic X-Men. Like, what if people started being born with superpowers, or what if people had started having superpowers?
Yeah. My favorite running gag, if you could call it that, is the fact that they keep on having to bury their probation officers.
Oh yeah, well, and not just the probation officers too. It's like everybody that they kill. There's like one underpass.
Yeah.
They always at the end of every episode almost is them at the underpass digging another grave for whoever they killed that episode, which is frequently their probation officers. But like, yeah, they're constantly covering up all the bodies.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's like the best moment. It's just like,
But yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, why get creative with it? Like, if you found a good place to put one body, by the time you're 20 bodies in, you don't need 20 different places. You just need to use the same one.
Exactly. And at that point, if you get caught, you're gonna go in. You're going down forever anyway. So you know,
Yeah, like-
you might as well.
Yeah.
That's Cam. That's one of the shows that I want to watch with you because I think you'd enjoy at least the first 2 series of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's just perfect. Do I miss being a teacher? No. No.
There are some really good moments in the later series. So like if you can kind of come at it and look at it more as like a sequel or a follow-up series, it's definitely not the same without the original cast.
No.
But like there's a few really interesting things they kind of do with some of the concepts of the powers and stuff in the later series. Where I'm like, okay, this is it's not the same, but it's good.
Fair enough. I might give it a second go.
Yeah. I feel like you've had some time to, you know, your disappointment has been tamped down a bit by now. Like, this show came out before my kid was born. That's kind of how I know, like, you know, how I figure out, like, if I should be over something by now. So therefore, I'm going to apply that same rubric to you in a completely fair manner.
I don't know if that's how that works, but sure. Sure, Joe.
Sure. You know, I still have to... Well, one show that I'd recommend watching, too, if you're looking for something American, you know, like, you know, if you need a break from all that British television after watching The Misfits, is have you ever watched Cougar Town?
No.
It is the stupidest show that has ever been made, but, like, intentionally stupid. So it's made by the guy who made Scrubs.
Yeah.
And it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's basically people goofing around who all live in like the same cul-de-sac. It's like, what if you lived really close to all your friends and you had a lot of free time and like also just a lot of wine, and it's basically just them just goofing around and doing stupid stuff for like 4 seasons, and but like they're constantly making up games and competitions and stuff like but one of the things that I enjoyed in particular was that one of them at one point gets a green screen, and so they're constantly doing stupid stuff in front of the green screen in their living room, and like, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it was a major influence on me, because I was already like doing dumb stuff with a green screen, but yeah, it's there's a lot of like, how can people keep each other entertained? It's a show about people trying to keep other people who live on the same block entertained. Because in real life, everybody just goes home to their apartments and watches TV quietly.
Yeah.
But, like, for some reason in this setting, that is not a thing that they do.
Fair enough. Okay. It's a bit weird, but sure. You're
Yeah.
describing Ed, and Eddie.
It's just Ed, and Eddie with alcohol. Yeah, and that's the thing, is, like, they realized later that the name of the show really hurt them. Because, like... Because Cougar Town, they're like, oh, okay, well, so we got the lady from Friends, the actress from Friends was the lead, and they're like, oh, she's old now, but she's still, like, active, and so they're like, oh, let's call it Cougar Town, and it's like, but by, like, the 3rd season, like, the title card of the show was, when they do the opening credits, would say, Cougar Town, we tried to change the name, but the network won't let us.
Really?
Yeah. Because apparently it's a big thing. You can't change the name of a show that's on the air already. Like, easily.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, if you just want to watch a show about a bunch of dumb Americans with well, they're not all dumb. They're not all necessarily stupid, though. But, like, a bunch of Americans with too much free time just goofing off. Yeah. it's I was gonna say, in some ways, the reason that it came to mind is it's like the scenarios are just as stupid as the ones that come up in the Misfits, but without powers or like the body count.
Right, I'll put it on my list.
Ahime Angel points out that it has the same creator as Ted Lasso. Wait, really? Did the people who make Ted Lasso work on Cougar Town? I love Ted Lasso. Cleo, seriously, you should, like, even if you don't care about sport at all, as they call it there, it's a really good show. It's very funny.
Yeah. I've heard about Cougar Town, but the name has put me off.
Yeah. Well, the name is terrible, and I agree with you 100%. Like, I didn't catch it while it was on the air. I saw it in reruns on streaming. But yeah, I started watching it because there's a character on Community named Abed who
I know Abed.
has this huge rant about how great Cougar Town is and how nobody appreciates it, and I was like, is it actually good, or is this just like showing how insane Abed is? I was like, no, this is actually good.
That must be one of the writers going, my friend's show isn't getting the joy it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to finish our show queue. We're doing well. We got rid of Crime Scene Kitchen, and we're nearly at the end of that season of Bake Off. We watch a lot of cooking shows. And the one with the children crying, that's going to go away soon. Please be aware, the one with the children crying isn't just people poking children with sticks. It's a baking show.
A baking show about children crying.
Well, no, they cry because they lose.
Oh, no.
So,
And they know their parents will never, accept them.
Yeah.
Again.
That's pretty much how parents work.
First place is a scholarship for chef's school. Second place is a set of kitchen knives. Third place, you're an orphan. Your parents will never love you.
Feels like it when they cry. I can only watch one episode at a time. Is Cleo sad about the end of the Crying Kids cooking show? No, I'm always like, I can't watch more than one because I need to cheer myself up at the end of it, because the kid always cries, and there is a part of my cold black heart that feels for children. So
you can watch a movie with no children. Have you seen Glengarry Glen Ross?
No
kids in that. Oh, you haven't seen Glengarry Glen Ross? Okay. Well, okay. So, it is a movie about, it originally was a stage play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about salesmen. And it's super bleak. But the thing that's interesting about it is it's got this kind of weird cadence to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they maintain the cadence is with swearing. So it's a bunch of smoking, swearing salesmen dealing with problems.
Oh dear.
But I'm doing a terrible job of selling this.
I mean, you are, but
it's a movie
it's fine.
About selling things and a play about selling things, but it's honestly one of the best stage adaptations to film ever. Like, the film is just gorgeously shot. Everything is just it was not pretty though. Now that I think about it, it's because it's set in Chicago, and Chicago is not a pretty place, but it's like there's kind of like, it's so competently done. It's beautiful, even though that the subject matter isn't beautiful. I'm doing a terrible job here. Chat, jump in and explain why Glengarry Glen Ross doesn't suck, please.
Please explain why it doesn't suck in a way that is better than Joe explaining why it doesn't suck, because, Joe.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. People are always telling me, Joe, you're too stressed out. You need to delegate more. Okay, I'm delegating. Chat, explain why Glen Ross doesn't suck. Next problem. And then, you know, if you choose not to, then don't blame me for not delegating things in the future. Because I tried. I'm earnestly just looking at this and going, you know what? I'm doing a bad job. I'll hand this off. NJ says, sorry, Joe, I haven't seen it either. NJ's the one who tells me most often I need to delegate things. So I feel vindicated.
I would argue that NJ is correct.
Yeah, okay. Well, I feel like I'm correct because there are clearly some things where if I don't do them, no one will.
Delegating to an entire chat seems reckless.
Oh my
gosh. Shouldn't find that funny? Absolutely do.
Oh. Boy, I pulled up the script here, and I'm like, I want to like read a scene to you.
Oh God, I've got a knife out, so be careful.
I know, and I'm like, okay, what if I replace all of the swear words with other words? Could I do this on the fly? And oh boy, I don't know. I don't think I could read this. I don't know if I can maintain the cadence replacing the swear words on the fly in this. This would be very difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it and say that I'm not gonna attempt this. Cleo, go watch Glengarry Glen Ross, and you'll enjoy it more through the lens of watching each scene and going, could Joe have read this during the stream successfully? No, he couldn't. He would have been mad to try.
Okay, I will probably not do it, but I'll try.
Okay.
That's all I can give you at this point, Joe. I mean, in life, so. Is he going to go out Alec Baldwin shout? Okay. No, I think Joe has decided.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna text Cub, and I'm gonna say, have you seen Glengarry Glen Ross? Maybe we could do a parody of this scene.
Yeah, bring Cub into your madness. That's gonna work.
If anybody would appreciate doing a parody of one of the most famous scenes from Glengarry Glen Ross, it's Cub.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is, so there's a scene where Alec Baldwin comes in to give a motivational talk because he's like the star salesman from corporate.
Uh-huh.
And he comes in to motivate.
Oh, I think I've seen that scene on the internet.
Yeah, it's a very famous. But I was like thinking like, okay, so there's like 4 or 5 guys in that scene, and they each have like 1 or 2 lines except for Alec Baldwin, and that would be a really good kind of quick Hermitcraft collab-y thing, where you get a few people on camera, but most people don't have to do too much. You know, like, hey, can you show up for 20 minutes and we're gonna shoot this real quick? I've got, you know, one of us has this longer bit, but you got 1 line. You know.
Yeah. Could work. Stranger things have happened.
This parody only works when people know about the movie. Well, too bad. It doesn't need to work. It just needs to exist. You don't understand what I do at all, Cam. You think I do that, like, works? Like...
Ah, yes, we're arguing the things that Joe does that work. Yes, okay. Point taken.
Like, oh my gosh. I just... Like, okay, my Hermits Helping Hermits theme was the True Detective theme song. True Detective, an HBO series about two detectives trying to hunt a child murderer. You know, famously popular with the kids. You know,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I'm not out here like making stuff like that for the whole audience. Because here's the thing, though, is like if you go back and you watch Animaniacs or Tiny Toons or something like that now, which are kids shows, there were a bunch of jokes in there for the parents who were in the same room as their children, right? So it doesn't matter to me if 100% of the audience likes every joke. It matters to me that people who might not enjoy 90% of what I do occasionally go, oh, but that one was pretty good. Right?
You're asking a lot, Joe.
Okay.
I'm supportive.
But yeah, I'm not saying like, okay, season 9 is going to be a shot-for-shot remake of Glengarry Glen Ross. Like, because that would be too much. But like, doing one scene here or there, like, that's a reference to something.
It would make you feel better about it, at least.
Okay, so...
I mean, that scene I've seen on the internet, so it's got to have been, you know, shared around a bit.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
famously obnoxious.
Yeah. And if I'm going to put extra work into something, I'm going to put extra work into something that I care about, right? You know? Like, I shared on my YouTube community page. You know how B-dubs and is always talking about like, oh, you should post things with posts or whatever. Like, I actually put in a post.
Really, Joe? You should post things with posts.
Yeah, because there's a feature called posts.
Oh, I'm aware.
And yeah, so I put up a post the other day, linking one of my or I didn't work with him directly. I worked with his wife, but like so he's technically not a former coworker, but this guy I know, his kid did a shot-for-shot remake of one of the songs from Encanto. We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Yeah.
And so him and his wife are in it, but like the kid did all the shooting and editing and all that. And so I shared that on my YouTube or whatever, and I've been thinking a lot about like,
Thank you for the biddies, Mini Cheese Mouse.
Like,
right.
this is really cool because it's very well done, but it's also something like that teenage. It might be a 12-year-old. I'm not sure how old the kid is, but like it's like the kid's like maybe 12 to 14 range or something. But like this kid really liked a thing, deconstructed it, and rebuilt it, and that's a cool exercise. But what makes it cool is the passion the kid had for it, not the fact that it happens to be a really famous movie right now. The fact that it happens to be a really famous movie right now might mean it gets more views on YouTube, but it's the passion and the interest that the kid had that makes it great. And so, like, if I'm going to go in and I'm going to deconstruct something, like, I'm going to do something that I care about, not necessarily something that's going to get the most views. And I'm sorry that Cam won't always get the joke. And I'm not trying to call out Cam here, but Cam is literally the person who raised this argument. And so, like, I feel like that's the way to go.
Call out Cam, I do it all the time.
Yeah, but...
Love you, honey. Yeah, I can see that.
So like, there's a reason that maybe Glengarry Glen Ross isn't the most famous thing now, but it's considered one of the best. It's considered a very well-made thing. Like, if you were studying film, it's the sort of film that would come up, right?
Right.
Because it's very well constructed, very well done. It's a a great adaptation of a play to the screen, which is hard to do. Like, for example, there was a new Macbeth that just came out. I don't know if you saw this.
Nope.
Yeah, and like it was very interesting, but like the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, oh boy, this was a challenging thing to adapt. Macbeth is notoriously difficult to stage effectively, and that doesn't mean that doing it on screen will be any better. And like, but like, yeah, just like watching Macbeth, I'm like, they did a lot of cool things, but like this was rough. Like, even with all these incredibly talented people working on it, it was one of the Coens who like made Fargo was the director,
Right.
and like he knows how to stage a movie. He did Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He's done a lot of very good films that I've enjoyed a lot, but like it's rough. It's I'm not gonna say it's hard to watch in like a oh boy, this is terrible way. It's like it's a very challenging piece of media that requires rapt attention and like focus. It takes effort to watch that movie.
Okay.
And so like, whereas like Glengarry Glen Ross is a lot like it's just natural. It's a natural adaptation of something that's easily adaptable. I don't know, or more easily adaptable, perhaps. These are not well-formed thoughts.
Oh no. I understand that.
Yeah, this is not a blog post that I sat here and.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But yeah, oh boy. Then there are some
hey,
other
Joker.
great. Hey, who? Hey, whoa!
Joker. Hey, JoeHills, thank you for giving out the 10 community gift subs. I really appreciate that. Wow. Thank you.
Yay, thank you for supporting Cleo.
Yay.
This
You're
means we get to keep
healthy.
hanging out. Yay. Oh boy. You know, I love the idea that, like, you know, this is something that we can just kind of keep doing. I mean, obviously some Wednesdays it's like, oh, we got an appointment here or there or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, you know, like 10 years from now, like, when like we've been doing this for a while, like I'm hoping to have like a real workshop. Like I could be like, hey, I'm gonna be assembling a table while I'm talking to Cleo on my wireless headphones.
That'd be cool.
On a craft stream, like, you know, like
That
folks,
would actually be really interesting to do.
Oh yeah, and that's one of my big things is like in the when people are like, what's your long-term goals for your channel? It's like I want to have a workshop, and I want to have like more space. Like physical space. My goals for my channel are not numerical. I'm not like I want to have 200,000 subscribers because that doesn't matter.
Nice.
Like I want to make cool stuff that I can't make now, and I need to figure out how to get from where I am today to there. And like that's a long-term plan. That's one of those things. Like realistically, we might be doing like if I'm gonna have a real workshop, it might not be until my kid goes off to college. You know, because living in the city here, it's too expensive. Unless the channel does really well. But, like, the channel would have to do so ludicrously well for that to happen, like, this year, that seems like an unreasonable goal. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Joe. I am right there with you. Sadly. It's one of those things that I've always, you know, it's I'm not saying it's a dream because, you know, but I really would like to be able to make more varied videos and like actually create stuff that matters.
When you say matters, could you expound on that a little?
I don't think I will, no. Matters to me as in things that are going to impact my life in a different way than Hermitcraft does.
Okay. I think I know what you mean, and I'm tempted to say an example that I could think of from my own point of view. But if you would like to share an example.
I don't really have examples, Joe, just dreams.
Okay.
Just
could I
dreams.
share my example then?
You may.
And
You may
maybe
indeed.
It's close and maybe it's not. Okay, so for example, one day I'd like to own my own home. And that might happen before I could afford a home that had an actual workshop in it, right? Like, if I could, I've renewed my lease recently for, I guess, another 15 months or so from now. And so it wouldn't be until then, at least. But, and even if it's a condo, if it requires some renovation and stuff, like, if I own it, like, I can do the work myself. And so I think it would be really cool to do some quote-unquote building streams or building videos where I'm actually renovating or fixing up, because I'm assuming I won't be able to afford a good place. Like, I'm assuming whatever I'll be able to afford in 15 months, there'll be something wrong with it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, doing some actual renovation videos where it's like, hey, I can teach people things and show them ways that they can shape the environment around them when they have their own spaces. Like, I feel like that could be impactful, not only because I'm improving my quality of life and my daughter's quality of life by fixing the place up, but I'm showing other people ways to improve theirs. Is that close to what you're talking about?
Yeah, that sort of thing. That would be the sort of thing, Doing craft streams actually is really good at just sort of centering my mind and being able to talk about stuff like this, But I mean, I've been looking at houses because I've spoken to my an accountant. I have an accountant.
Oh, you got that. Awesome.
I got it sorted. And they're going to certify my taxes this year. So in April of next year, I should have the second lot of certified taxes done, and I can start looking at a house. So, but I've also been looking at houses now. I found my dream house the other day, and I'm gutted that I can't go for it. So, and it's at the top end of my range. So it's doable for me. But I was also looking at, well, if I had to go for a cheaper house to start off with, how could I improve that kind of thing? And, I've been looking at things like, well, what is the cost of extensions to a house that I don't own yet? So, so I have more space for things like a workshop and a big kitchen, because that's the one thing I want to do. That's the one thing. I mean, I like baking things, but I don't do it because my kitchen is tiny, so.
Well, and like, that's something I miss doing kitchen streams from my old apartment, but the new apartment, there's no way to get the laptop and computer stuff in there, and so like having a space like that again would be really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. So is this another one of those Western Scottish areas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
how is public transit out that way? Like,
I mean, it's mostly buses out that way, but where I'm looking for, there's like, there's a train station like 4 miles away.
Okay.
So it's not a thing. And if it all else fails, I have a car.
Well, see, that's the thing, is I'm assuming if I move to Scotland, I'm not going to get a car. I'm going to leave my car here or sell it. Like,
I mean, I would think that would be a sensible thing to do.
Well, but I mean, I might give it to one of my siblings, because keep in mind, too, by the time I can afford to, like, my car is already 13 years old. If I'm still driving it by then, I really would prefer to never buy another car.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't know. Like, one of the points of living in the city is you don't technically need it, So, I live in the city. Technically, I could take a bus down to see my parents, and they're talking about putting a train line in, which would be awesome, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But yeah, I could take a bus to see my parents or siblings if I really needed to. Plus, like, they come up here. Well, in a non-COVID year, they come to Nashville all the time. So, because it's a good place nearby with interesting things to do, you know. So, like, it's not like I would never see my family if the car breaks down or whatever. But yeah,
Well, go for it.
If I move to England, though, I definitely don't want to drive on the other side of the road. Like, that's too
Yeah,
much.
I spoke to Cam about that, and I'm just like, I'm not driving both of us forever. You're gonna have to learn to suck it up.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But, you know, I'm assuming it will take, like, you know, have some lessons with a driving instructor kind of deal.
Yeah.
So,
well, this was one of the reasons that I was looking at, like, if I came to Scotland, living either in
I know,
Edinburgh
Cam.
or living in one of the like places with like a walkable central area, like that's a quick train ride into Edinburgh. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like I want to be able, wherever I live, I want to be able to walk to get groceries. Is kind of one of my
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually, the place I'm looking at the moment is obviously going to change. There are like 2 central city hubs that I'm looking at, but I'm also looking at villages around that. So, you know, which arguably I would have to drive. So, yeah. A very confused bird resubscribed for 3 months saying, I always love the content, can't wait for more. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, like, in terms of like villages, like I could live in a village as long as the village has walkable groceries, like, and stuff like that, and has like a way to get to a bigger place. But
yeah,
I
but
just,
like I say, I'd have a car, so you know, living in a village would be fine for me. So, although I have lived across from a grocery, like a supermarket, my entire life, like literally across the road. So I don't know how I would cope with not having that.
It's so nice being able to walk to the grocery store. Like, yeah, because I've lived places where I can, and I've lived places where I can't, and it's just such a difference in terms of like how often you get out of the house and how fresh your food is, and you know, it's one of those things where it's like it's easier to improvise, you know.
Yeah. It's funny, Artsy, you say driving on the left would get all the controls are in the wrong direction. I have a Hyundai, which has all of that swapped round from a regular British car. So I learnt to drive with things on one side, and my current car has things on the other side. And I have gone from driving a white van to driving my car and driving rentals, and the speed at which your brain transfers those things over is incredibly quick. At least it was for me. I don't know. I'm not making judgments. You know, it's fine. But, you know, I think you'd be surprised at how fast that goes.
Many Cheese Mouse says, Joe, not Edinburgh. It's crazy expensive. Glasgow's much cheaper. Yeah, but Glasgow doesn't have the Fringe Festival. I really like the idea of living somewhere with a big month-long arts festival like that, where people come from all over. Like that's a huge. Because the other thing is, if you live close enough to the city, like, you know, possibly people I know who might want to be part of that festival could come stay with me for the month or whatever. What?
No, I'm actually thinking that is possibly something that would 100% happen. Regardless of whether you live in Scotland or not, rather whether you live in Edinburgh or not, you would be close enough to get to Edinburgh. You know?
Yeah, but there's a difference between like, hey, I'm gonna go to Edinburgh for like 1 or 2 weekends out of this month-long festival versus I live in town and people are coming to stay with me and we are all going out every night. Because like after being a single parent and not being able to go out and do anything every night forever, basically, I really having that to look forward to. That seems pretty good. Going once a year, I can go out every night and see something cool and have people around and, like, you know.
Does sound cool, Joe. It does sound cool.
Megs the Musical says that sounds exhausting. Well, you know what? Being a single parent trapped at home all the time is exhausting too. Like, it's a different kind of exhausting, and it's only 1 out of 12 months a year. So it's a, you know, I'm not saying I would do that. I don't have the energy to go out and do stuff like that every year, all year. But like once a year.
Mm-hmm.
That I could look forward to.
I mean, I just think it's the way that Joe is sort of wired. He's wired to be out with people for a bit, you know? Whereas I don't think I could go out every day for a month and find that entertaining, personally.
Well, and realistically, I probably wouldn't go out every single day, but like,
yeah.
You know.
Oh, I get you.
Enough of it. Yeah. But like, also, like, I live in a city now that has a bunch of live music and theater and stuff like that, and when I wasn't a parent, going to those things was always something that I really enjoyed. And so, you know, it's one of those things, like, I live in a city that is a major cultural center now, and so I'd like to live in or around another city that's a major cultural center later.
I think that's fair. I think that's a reasonable kind of...
Yeah. And especially if this is my quote-unquote, like, parenting retirement, you know, plan. It's like, what is the thing that I dislike most about parenting? The fact that I don't get to go out to these things. Okay, well, how can I change that once my kid goes off to college? I, you know, want to live somewhere that's an option.
It sounds like fun. It sounds like fun. It sounds like a thing.
Mm-hmm. Cleo, I need to go refresh my drink. Do you mind covering the chats for me for a minute?
I'm cool covering the chats.
Be right back. Thank
you.
My
chat. Joe's chat. I'm gonna be in my chat because I'm working with knives. So if you have questions, now is the time to ask them. I might not answer them because, you know, it's fine. There's a lot of things going on about, you know, how people's lives are very exhausting going on in my chat, and I get you, fam, I get you. Who is your fantastic you speak so highly of? I don't know, I think they're imaginary. Shush, Cam. The thing is, I'm very mean to Cam, but I always feel so bad. And then he threatens to put it on Twitter. So, you know. One big mood today. It looks like it. Definitely a mood. Although I am streaming later on. I am doing Ghost Hunt Simulator with Corpse, which should be a time. I'm not going to say it's a fun time, because it's not going to be a fun time for me, because I'm going to be terrified. Whereas Corpse is going to be cackling like Corpse, actually, to be fair, because, you know, that's their default state of being around me. Twitter loves the BS. Twitter loves your version of it, because they think it's hilarious. Why is there a pineapple in my kitchen? I don't know. Cameron versus Joe. Who would you trade for a peanut? I wouldn't trade either of them for a peanut. What are some of your dream home necessities? I don't really have a necessity. I would like a car. I would like a car parking space. I would preferably like a garage, because I would like to own an electric car. What else? Big kitchen. I'm not so fussed about the living room so much. But I do require like 3 bedrooms. Mostly because I would need an office, and, you know, if things work out with Cam, and they're doing quite well, by the way, they would need an office as well. So, Joe were an animal, what type of animal would he be? Joe is a narwhal. Like, something that people think is imaginary, but isn't. you go. How am I able to make the eyes... Like, you've got to lock your wrist. And I do have dots, but mostly it's the wrist locking. So, yeah. You've got to lock your wrist.
Hey, Cleo, I'm back.
Welcome back. We've decided you're a narwhal, Joe.
I still don't... That's like the unicorn...
Yeah,
manatee
unicorn
thing,
of the
right?
sea, yeah. Something that people... Like, my favourite thing was we were doing at school... one of the kids, the writing prompts was like something like write a story with an imaginary animal in it, and some kid just went, gonna write a story about narwhals, and I'm like, they're not imaginary, and they were just like, what? So we went on a big old tangent about the existence of narwhals and showed them pictures. So
Oh, that's always fun.
I mean, teaching was a lot of fun, and I know I often just come down on it quite hard, but that's nothing to do with the children. It's all to do with like the administration and stuff. So, you know, teaching is a great job if you can understand, if you can withstand the BS from the other teachers and the government.
So, yeah, speaking of government teaching things,
No.
do you feel up for hearing about something stupid happening in the United States?
I feel like I've experienced. I already know what's coming. Go for it.
Okay, it's about Oklahoma. So maybe you've seen this in the news.
I think I may have done.
An Oklahoma lawmaker proposed a new law that any teacher who says anything in opposition to religion
Oh yeah,
can be
I saw
sued
this.
by a parent for up to $10,000. They have $10,000 of personal liability, and that it has to be paid out of their own money. It can't be like like the school can't have insurance for it or something.
Yeah. So which religion is this that they can't disparage?
Well, you know, it's not specified.
It's not specified. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because religions are never in opposition to each other. We know that, don't we?
But yeah, like requiring teachers to have an extra 10 grand in cash on hand.
It's not going to go well. It is not.
No. And so that's one of the excuses for why doctors are paid so much in the United States is like, well, they have to carry malpractice insurance and be able to deal with all these legal assaults all the time. And it's like, okay, are we going to start paying teachers doctor money?
No, because that would require respecting teachers enough to give them what they deserve.
Yep. Nexus Spacey says, whoa, are you drawing Hisui? We are coloring in a view of Mount Fuji by Hokusai. Yeah. So, yeah, Oklahoma is going to have a shortage of teachers if that bill goes through.
Oh, yeah, I would not teach there. Fines are a poor tax, just not a way to stop crime. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, they're not doing it to protect children. They're doing it to score points, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, using my knife for this is arguably dangerous. I know.
Yeah, The Onion had which is, for those of you who are not from America and don't know, or I'm sure you know this, Cleo, but some of our audience may not know this. The Onion is a satirical comedy newspaper. But they had an article saying, new law requiring students to stare unblinkingly at American flag for 6 hours a day will avoid opportunities for teachers to teach them anything unpatriotic.
Oh dear God! I don't know how your government gets away with like the stuff it does.
Well, a lot of it is that the new government always forgives the old government people. So, like, all of the people who tortured people under Bush, like Obama was just like, don't do it again. And I'm like, no, if you let people who torture people not get like charged and have trials and be punished, then the next time a president says, hey, go torture people, people are gonna just go, it'll be fine. The next guy won't care even if they don't agree with it. Like it's our government gets away with things because the next government always allows the current government to do it. There's never any culpability. And And like I understand, like, oh well, we can't charge Bush with these war crimes or whatever. That's not the place of the new executive to charge the old executive. Fine, fine, forget that. What about the people who actually did the torturing? We have records. We know who was working where when. They should not be allowed to keep working as part of the government.
Yeah,
But
this
they
is
still
true.
have their jobs.
Yeah.
Like, so thanks, Obama.
Wow. That was a legitimate use of that. Well done.
Yeah, I'm also mad that all the people at AT&T that Bush asked to illegally wiretap people, Obama gave them a blanket, like, not technically a pardon, but like basically as well. So nobody at AT&T was ever punished for that. So yeah, no incentive to ever stand up to government orders to illegally wiretap people. Like, it's you have to have a culture of responsibility, and you don't create that without consequences. So that's why Cleo, that's why our government gets away with this stuff, because there's no culpability.
Kind of.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I understand that you needed to say it, and I apologise for being flippant. Because
So
I was
why does
kind
your
of
government get away with stuff? Well, we're on
rampant cronyism, usually.
Oh.
And propaganda to the public, as far as I can tell. Fortunately, we don't have gerrymandering the way you guys do, because I've seen that go on, and that's just
yeah, that's infuriating. They want to cut Nashville up into 3 separate districts, basically, and then adhere those to like rural parts of the state in different directions, so that we don't get any real representation at the state level, which makes 0 sense in terms of like anything other than just being jerks, really.
Wasn't didn't you fight a war over that at some point? Like, no taxation without represent. Like, I'm pretty sure that was a thing.
That was a thing that we cared about, yeah. And that's one of the like when people are like, oh yeah, what makes you want to move to Scotland? I don't know, stuff like my state government saying that people in my city shouldn't be represented in my state government. That'll do it.
Welcome to craft streams.
Welcome
you
to
learn
craft
lots about
stream.
crafts, but not as much about politics. Or maybe the other way around. I haven't yet decided.
But yeah, it's like, if I'm gonna live somewhere that I don't get a vote, I might as well live in another country. Like, at least then I'm like, okay, well, what did I expect?
Joe just described what Utah has already done to Salt Lake City. Yeah. Fortunately, our boroughs are pretty set in stone, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean,
it's nice to not have to worry about everything all the time.
Well, that specific thing I don't have to worry about. There's plenty that I have to worry about other than that, but,
Gotcha. Uh-oh, the GoPro is getting into overheating mode.
Oh, no.
Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a slideshow for a little bit, folks.
Yep.
By which I mean for the rest of the stream.
For a little bit, which is forever. So just accept it.
So let's see. What is a good way to fix that? I could, in theory, go try and get one of the other cameras off the pinball machine rig.
At this point, it's like, we're now playing. What can Joe be bothered to do right now?
Yeah. Okay. I'm also thinking, like, I should take a screenshot of the source for right now. Okay. And then put that, hold on, as a backdrop while I actually unplug the camera and try some other things.
Yep, that could work. What brand is your journal? My journal is an Otagami journal.
That didn't work. Hold on.
It's really good. And if I go to one of my most coloured in pages, like for that one, if I go to this and then I turn it over, you can't see it through at all. So it's like, it's got really good paper. And you get free stencils. Free stencils. It works for me. I've not, like, most of the other brands that I've seen are being shilled by people in the bullet journal wider community, and I'm always suspicious because they're, you know, why don't you shop my store? And I'm like, okay, I can see that, but you'd have to really convince me, considering this was like half the price.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to buying other people's merch. I'm just opposed to paying double for the same thing. Didn't like it though. Went back to Lecter.
Powered down the camera, and I'm pulling out the battery.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna blow into the inside of it.
I'd rather have someone else suggest someone else's stuff. Yeah.
I don't know how much cooler it has to get, but like most of the inside of the camera is the battery though. So now it's got the camera basically. I've not necessarily doubled its surface area to vent heat, but I've increased it a lot. Do I have anything like metal I could put in there to bleed off the heat, act as a heat sink? That's probably a bad idea to just
shove metal in your electronics, Joe.
But
don't butt me. Don't do it.
Okay, so a bunch of people are suggesting just pour water on it. I mean, it is a GoPro, so as long as I close it up, that's actually not a bad idea. I could go put it in the sink and run cold water over it for a little while.
Chat, you and me are gonna have words.
What? It's designed to go up to 6 meters underwater without a case. Like, and I don't think my sink is 6 meters deep. Like, I don't know what a meter is in feet, but it seems like a lot.
A meter is 3 feet.
Okay, so I don't have an 18-foot deep sink to put this in. People are saying put it in the freezer for a little while.
I'm not saying anything because whatever I say is not going to be listened to anyway, so it's fine. Joe's electrocutes himself, chat. It's on you.
Okay.
And also on Joe a little bit.
Put the cable back on. Power it back up. Okay, USB connected. Let's see.
I don't have an 18-foot deep sink to put this into. Not yet, you don't. I would just use like an ice pack. I mean, an ice pack would arguably make sense.
Activate. It's better than it was.
Not convinced that was difficult, Joe.
What was difficult?
Like it being better than it was. Because you turned it off, Joe.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was better than it was than before I turned it off. I don't know. Where's the dark green? Oh, here it is. Ahime Angel says, not the freezer. The condensation would be terrible for the electronics. Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's why I didn't do the freezer. I actually was thinking, though, that for real, like, just putting it in the sink with it sealed up in watertight mode would probably have been fine. Wushi says, I've wondered why the depth of water matters. Surely if it's water, then it's still wet. Well, there are seals on it. The pressure seals around the battery compartment and things like that can only withstand a certain amount of pressure. and there's more pressure the deeper you get. So they would break the seals.
Should be good to go below freezing.
I mean,
Right.
you can take it. You can take these skiing. So yeah, it is like an outdoor action camera type thing. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm not. It's fine. Just
You snorted with a laugh. That was a snort laugh.
It was a snort. It wasn't necessarily a laugh. It was definitely a snort, though.
I tried to do a snort, but it came out as a growl.
That is definitely a growl. That is not a snort. Put me on Joe's side if you like. You don't have to always be on my side. That's creepy. Just because you're wrong. I can't see that through it. I'm going to have to outline these. Okay. Your main concern isn't markers, it's calligraphy pens and India ink. Well, I'm not that advanced. I do this because it's fun, not because I'm good.
Yeah, people are talking about ice packs and things like that as options too. It's funny because when I used to stream out of the closet, I actually would be swapping out. When I would do my hydration breaks, I would also go back to the fridge and swap out ice packs that I would keep under my feet. I had like, I would put it. Yeah, seriously, like I would have a towel with an ice pack under my feet to vent heat into, and then I'd have to keep swapping out the ice packs because otherwise I would overheat while I streamed.
That sounds
I don't
horrific.
have to do that anymore. It's nice.
I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to torture myself in the cupboard anymore.
So even though I don't have my workshop that I've dreamed of or anything here, like this is still a better place to stream out of than my last apartment by a lot. Because part of the problem too was that the air conditioner had like some sort of like vent or pipes or something that ran like through my closet that I was streaming out of. And so if the system was engaged, the pipes would knock.
Oh God.
And so I had to turn it so the entire apartment would be heating up as well. Whenever I started streaming.
Oh, Jesus.
So it wasn't just the closet, yeah.
Thank you, Arena, for the 500 biddies. Very much appreciated, and with the pride flag representation. Thank you very much. Okay, let's try this again. Now I can see to cut out my shapes. I have to say, I am enjoying using the washi tape this way. Just cutting things out.
Well, it looks cool.
Yeah. I think it's the only way I could probably get this effect without printing things out and cutting things. So
it doesn't really show up as well on the camera, but can you see through it where the letters are because it's partially translucent?
yeah, it's partially translucent, so I can see.
I was also like for the way that the way the light was reflecting off the reflective letters for your days of the week. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, try. What is try? Is that like a British Friday? I'm like, no, that's an F. It's just not catching the light.
It's try day. We always try hard on that day. We don't always succeed, but we try.
It's the opposite of a due date. So how come Monday starts later? Oh, wait, no, that's days of the month. No, I was like, do you wake up later on Mondays or something? Or those hours of the day for a particular week? But no, that's the whole month.
Yeah, that's yeah, it starts on Tuesday. So, yeah. And arguably I've put too many boxes here, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine.
Yep.
Pressure managed to exacto just the tape. I didn't cut right through. Arguably, I have also done that because I can definitely feel some of it, but I've done it on the other side as well. So the tape sort of holds everything together. Try-day where you got to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's work all at once.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Taping the tape. You know it. Just keeping the journal together with washi tape. Very chill. Feeling very chill.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because I've got a stream coming up this afternoon which is not going to be chill.
Oh, what are you doing?
Ghost Hunter's Call.
Ah.
It's going to make me
I have
scream.
That game, right?
Huh?
You know I have that game, right?
I did not, but you know.
Okay. I just thought I would mention that at some point in case you ever need another Ghost Hunter or another core or anything.
I'll speak to Corpse, see what we can do. Because it's.
Yeah, I was surprised that you were playing it because I got that game like when it first came out, and I was like, oh, this is really disappointing. But I'm guessing it's better now.
Oh no, I think those games are 100% disappointing. But when you're playing them with your, like, let's put it like this: Corpse knows me very well, and we've been friends for years now. So it's a case of when they're just there just to mess with you. It's quite kind of funny. So
that's good. Also, real quick, I need to thank Ahime for tipping 20. That gets us $2 past our next face camera expansion milestone. And Ahime says, it's great hearing how enthusiastically you talk about the things you really like, Joe. I love your Wednesday chats with Cleo. Well, thank you. Now, y'all who are watching out there, you may have seen that money go straight to my head with each face camera expansion up to this point. But now, like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the Jost. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty, that brings us to 90% Joe Pasity, and we are 18 away from the next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Thank you again, Ahime Angel. Okay.
maybe it's cold enough in the deep below to keep the camera running.
Yeah, I could just lay the chains across it and let them pull the heat out. Oh, wait, no, they're conductive. And then the screen on the back of the camera started responding. I'm like, no!
Yeah, that's bad. Don't do that.
Lens modes.
Dear God.
That's... Obviously, like everything else, Cleo, I've thought this through.
Oh, yeah, you're known for thinking things through, Joe. It's your most defining character trait.
Mm-hmm. That's how I define me. By my thinkins.
By your thinkins. Where's the other one? Where is the other one?
I need to do some outlining for some of these parts.
Where is the tape? Did I put it away? Did not. Okay.
Ooh.
What's that?
Didn't mean to throw the pencil sharpener in the trash.
Yes, it did.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I don't think Corpse is ever going to agree to that. They might. But I wouldn't if I was them, and that's how I define this.
Okay.
Just be glad that I've agreed to the jump scares. You don't have to torture my friends as well. I do that arguably enough.
Settling is bad.
Not always.
That's true. You seem really happy.
Wow! JoeHills!
Was that too mean?
Yeah! That was way worse than you've ever been before! Ever? I'm kind of impressed. Low-key impressed.
You just set me up for that one.
Did Joe just roast himself or Cam? Like, kind of both. And also me.
Okay, so we're getting these thicker lines in here.
Don't worry, Cam. I'm sure somebody will clip it. You missed what he said. Good! Good. Just work. Rewound a bit. Now. Yeah, that bit. It was mean on Joe's part. But you know, Joe often looks for it because he doesn't get to do it very often, so.
Look, you set him up, I knock him down.
I'll knock you down if you're not careful.
But I get up again! You're never gonna keep me down!
I'm gonna suffocate you and you'll stay down. This is my life. Yeah. Okay, things that I wouldn't do if this wasn't my job. Oh no! Oh no!
That's one of them, apparently.
Oh no! Thank you, Liara, who has resubscribed for 11 months. I can't tell if I just walked in at the best or worst time. Yes! Yes! And Zion has resubscribed. That's our 4-month resub. And I hate all of you and Joe and life. So this is just how life is now. So you are going to have to deal with this. NJ caused this. NJ.
And thank you to Kitty Beth for tipping 5, who writes, "Thanks for all the art and entertainment." Well, you are welcome, Kitty Beth. That puts us 13 away from the next
I
Space
didn't
Camera
realize I
expansion.
traveled to the 1920s.
If Cleo gets to use a cute voice, I don't see why I can't use my most adorable voice as well.
I would
Obviously,
argue, Joe,
this-
that you don't have an adorable voice, but this is, I don't know why he's JFK. I don't
This
know.
cute voice brings all the boys to the yard.
It brings certainly something to the yard, possibly vermin. Notably deceased, give out 5 community gift subs and Zack Attack Chid biddies. Thank you so much.
I see it is time for the train whistle.
Is
The
it?
train whistle is blown.
It's not come up on my side, but you know, it's fine. What boxing do you see, Liara? That is the voice for the boxing. I don't know. And thank you for the artsy for the biddies because you love Cleo. No, Cleo doesn't love you. She's above all this nonsense, and it is nonsense. I know it. You know it. We're just gonna have to deal with it the way it is.
Cleo refuses to experience love or allow others to experience it in her presence.
You know what, Joe? You are correct. I have never experienced it in your presence either. So, it's fine. I'm
Fantastic.
fine. Joe can go. Nyeh. I hear you sniggering. Don't you snigger in my presence. How dare you? How... Ah! Sven Lu gave out 10 community gift subs with... Why are you doing this to me? Why? Why? Why now?
As you can see, Zombie Cleo is receiving quite a bit of hype. If anyone would like to continue to contribute bits and or subs, we can achieve a new level of Hype Train.
A new level of nuclear meltdown from the Cleo. Why?
I'm sorry, I'm receiving word. We are now at the final level of the Hype Train. No further levels are possible.
Thank you, Arena, for the biddies. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But Cleo is cranky now.
My chat is pleased that Cleo is angrier than Shouty Cleo.
What? That's a lie. That's a lie. And Push Chid biddies. Thank you, Push. Thank you. Cleo is going to do stuff with her journal so she doesn't have to experience whatever is going on now. Which is, you know, probably traumatic. So it's fine. This is fine. Oh my goodness. Ahim Angel gave out 5 community gift subs. Thank you. And Nox cheered 1,000 biddies. Thanks to both of you. It's very much appreciated. Even Cleo agrees sometimes. Sometimes. But not always, so you shouldn't get used to it. You should not get used to it. Suddenly Cleo is here and delightful. I disagree. Cleo is not delightful. Cleo is cross. I mean, just as a general, you know, nature of being. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you, Withervane, for the biddies. Appreciated. Cleo is not great. Cleo is the best. And everything. And, I'd thank you all not to stare.
Cleo, specifically Cleo, does not appreciate stairs. She only appreciates escalators.
Thank you, Artsy, for the 20 community gift subs. That one actually made my hands curl. But, you know, thanks. Thanks. It's appreciated.
Escalation is a key part of the Hype Train experience. Although I guess if you're back to your normal voice, I should change too.
I mean, you don't have to, Joe. You can just do that the whole stream and, you know, everyone will cry.
It is actually easier to talk like this the entire stream. There are more pauses, allowing me to rest my voice mid-sentence, if not even mid-word.
Oh, okay. Hi. Thank you very much for all the bits and the subs and all the stuff during the Hype Train. It is very helpful. Very, very. And also... What the hell? Where is that? What? When did that come? What? Was the jump scare didn't go off when I saw the. Okay, so yay. Okay, so it's all delayed now. Thank you, Gaming, for the biddies, appreciated, and thanks Sven for those 20 community gift subs again, because a jump scare is fun for you guys. I can't wait till you've got the cumulative jump scare going on, because that one's going to terrify you too, and you'll all deserve it for being nice and supporting me. That's how that works. There we go. Cleowo is on break, but the hype train rumbles on. I mean, Cleowo is always on a break. What, you think you get that aggravated just by, by having a life to lead? No, Cleowo is only ever angry. No break, only anger. That was an accurate. Yeah. So whenever the 150 hype train goes off, you're gonna suffer for it, guys. You're gonna suffer for all your support, and you'll deserve it.
Yeah, now I just really want to say the word suffer in a really long, drawn-out nasal voice.
Suffer!
Suffer!
All shall come and perish. Like the favorite.
You know what you did.
You know what you did. Perish. 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 Shouldn't reset between streams. Good. Well, we don't know what time the reset is on that, so we'll see. We'll see. Or Cleo can leave the bot open all day and then it will work. I guess I could. I mean, but that would require keeping things plugged in, and I have to move my setup. Maybe on another day I could do that, but moving my setup requires things get moved around. So, probably not. Then don't stay forever. Is that the one that was on 100 gift bump a few months ago? Yep. It's the same, yet also different. It's got added trauma. For you guys, not for me.
Yeah, that's a real value add.
I mean, And the 100 still does exist, yes. See it as a goal to work towards, because 100 sub bombs are rare. But you guys getting me necessarily to 100 subs in a stream is not so rare. Does happen, not often, but it does happen. And then you get to see me terrified. Which is what you're all here for, let's be honest. How you doing, Joe?
Good. I'm basically doing a step that's kind of like inking at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm going in, there are certain lines in the original that are thicker. And so I'm doing those now, but it's a little bit more concentration heavy than just coloring in blocks, you know?
Mm-hmm. Understood.
So, sorry I'm a little bit quieter.
That's fine. I just wondered what was going on with you.
Yeah,
You know.
well, if you look over, it's like, it's kind of coming together.
Where is your monitor? It does look very good, actually.
Oh, thank you.
So, well done, Joe. Yeah, I'm kind of slow on this theme. I am enjoying this theme, though, this month. This month is not hard to do at all.
It's very
nice.
open-ended, so it's easy to kind of just do as you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I found a new technique I like, so that always helps.
That's good.
To clean the disaster that is the house. I don't know what you mean. My disaster of a house is not a disaster. It is intentionally left to look like a disaster because I'm recreating Fallout. There you go. I live on what's equivalent of a Fallout dude ranch at this point. So, you know, everything looks like a bomb's hit it because it has. It's a really good excuse. I know, right? It also doesn't help that I have to pull out I mean, I'm sure Joe's the same at this point. You have to pull everything out when you do these streams, and then you have to put everything back, and just makes
I had to move the monitor that I use for streaming Pokemon. Because it goes like directly behind where the like the ring light couldn't fold down. There would be an extra monitor in the way.
No, Mum, my room is messy. I'm recreating Fallout for science. See you later, Kissy. My niece actually ate food I cooked. Toddlers and dinner. Why is it so hard? I don't know. Illusion of choice, maybe. Wow, Reptilian, that's dark, but probably yes. Although to be fair, there isn't a huge amount of cannibalism in.
Wait, do they have dude ranches in Fallout? Because the whole point of a dude ranch is it's a tourist attraction for people from the city.
No, they don't.
So, are there people from the city that come for tourists? Is there tourism in Fallout?
Oh, arguably yes, there is tourism in Fallout, but no, there is no dude ranch.
Okay. Because the word dude means like a city slicker who comes out to experience the West for vacation.
I mean, 3 had vampires and a cannibal town. I mean, arguably there is the entire cannibalistic cult in Fallout New Vegas, and all the things that you just mentioned. And there is also New Vegas, which is, arguably a tourist center. So see, whenever anyone mentions toddlers at the moment, my mind automatically goes to the 100 baby challenge, because
how many babies are you at out of the 100?
28.
Wow, so that's a long-term goal.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you know what? Hold on. So that's going to take you, because you started that about the same time I started Pokemon or whatever. And you're only like a third of the way through. So that's going to take you a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those long-term challenges.
Okay.
It's doing very well.
You were talking like my Pokemon stream was going on forever.
Yeah, but it's Pokemon.
Pokemon's a pretty open-ended game.
So is The Sims.
Yeah, okay. I'm not critiquing you, I'm complaining about you critiquing me.
Oh. I'll suck it up.
Wow.
Like I say, I'm not I don't understand Pokemon really. So, you know, I played Pokemon for maybe 30 hours in total in my whole life. So,
Well, they don't actually speak English, so very few people understand them. Hey, thank you, Rotation, for tipping 2, who says $2 for Joe FK. And that puts us 11 away from the next Face Camera expansion.
Joe FK.
That's a pretty good one.
That's not bad. Not bad.
I didn't think of that because, like I said, I don't think of that as a JFK voice. Although it is similar to the one when I read, like, let's see. Let me pull this up real quick. The Rice Stadium speech. Hold on. We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won, and they must be won and used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and all technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will become a force for good or ill depends on man, and only if the United States occupies a position of preeminence can we help decide whether this new ocean will be a sea of peace or a new, terrifying theater of war. I do not say that we should or will go unprotected against the hostile misuse of space any more than we go unprotected against the hostile use of land or sea. But I do say that space can be explored and mastered without feeding the fires of war, without repeating the mistakes that man has made in extending his writ around this globe of ours. Yeah, I guess it is a similar voice. My JFK voice and my Massachusetts voice, there's a lot of overlap.
A little bit.
You know.
31.
Yeah, I pulled up the Rice Stadium speech because I was looking for like the famous line, and that was just a random one. Where is the actual, like, the thing that actually gets quoted? Let's find and replace, here we go. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win. And the others too. Yeah, that's... There's a lot of overlap, I'll give you that.
Yep. Joe knows JFK was from Massachusetts, right? Yes.
Yes, I am aware. That's...
That was the point of this. Oh, I mean, you may not have been here from the start, but yes, we've had this conversation.
Liara says, I just realized I've never heard that speech out loud, only read it. It's a great speech, the whole thing, not just the parts people quote. Yeah, I think for, I've read the... So sometimes my Saturday night streams get kind of weird, and I'll, like, read, like,
really
stuff
now?
by Edgar Allan Poe or famous speeches and stuff. And yeah, so I've read that entire speech on stream before, and it's a pretty good one.
It's not bad. I could cut out these things and make this like stickers. Okay.
Are there any famous speeches that you would read, Cleo?
I'm not really a speech kind of person, but I'm more a monologue kind of girl.
Oh, that's fair.
So, you know, like
But have you done like any theatrical training where you've practiced monologues then?
Yeah. I don't remember any because it was when I was in high school, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got an A in drama in my GCSE, so...
Are there any of those that you would want to maybe read now? for us?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't remember half of them. I'm never dramatic. Everyone knows that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dramatic, I'm not obnoxious. There's a difference. Okay, I've just found the cutest thing that I can do ever. That's cool.
What is it?
Like, I've got this washi tape, which is just little plants.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I've been doing it with the letters, like cutting things out. I can just cut out all these individual plants. It's so cute.
Oh, that's cool.
He's so cute. He's teeny weeny. Like making my own tiny little stickers. Kind of love it. Hi, so cute. Oh my god, I love it. Thanks for pasting that one to me. See you later, Withervane. Have a good night. Or day. I've got these also little tiny cactuses that I forgot were here. I can make little tiny cactus pieces.
Little tiny cactus pieces.
Little tiny cactus pieces.
Little tiny cactus pieces. Little tiny cactus pieces.
This one's going to be harder than the last one. Because they're small.
Future log.
Future
We call
log.
those space trees.
I mean, you know. Trees exist in space.
Okay.
That was like, I'm not getting into this one.
I was like, maybe.
I mean, maybe they don't, but they could exist in space.
I mean, technically, Earth is in space, and so like, it's one of the.
That was
like, I don't
sort
know
of
how
where
to-
I was going with it, to be honest. But
I was
can't...
like, this is too pedantic a rabbit hole even for me. Like, I found my limit.
Wow.
Like, I was like, this space tree thing, I'm not. Yeah. Like, do not engage.
Aww. Joe refuses to engage with Cleo. He's teeny tiny cactus baby. Teeny tiny cactus baby. Hey Lanaire, how you doing? We are making baby cactuses. I've got my tongue stuck out. That's how hard I'm concentrating on this.
Yeah, I've gotten to this high detail point here. I didn't realize when I picked this one that I was going to be inking at all. Like, I mean, I'm technically still using pencils, but, like, I didn't realize I was going to be outlining things. I thought I was just going to be coloring. But I realized that the outlines are really crucial to the composition on this one. So, here we are.
Tiny cactus baby.
With a higher intensity task than anticipated. That's not new.
They're always higher tasks, Joe. Always.
Mm-hmm.
We wish they would stop. I was already going to do it this week, but you're already making me want to go to the craft store soon. Had a plan to be like, no, if you want to go to craft store, go crafting. Crafting is the fun.
Mm-hmm.
The fun, not a little bit of fun, but the fun. Okay, so got my quote page, got my title page, got my future log sorted out. I'm just having lots of fun just cutting things this. When you were 5, you hugged a cactus. That was a fun trip to the doctors. Oh.
I mean, when you're 5, everything's fun.
I'm not convinced that the doctors are fun.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Hello. Okay, so the next thing I've got to do is habit trackers. Didn't feel like yesterday, so I haven't done my mood, which is good because it's been pretty chill. Okay, habit tracker. Same deal. There was something I wanted to add to it and I cannot remember. Page for marks looks really cool. Yeah.
Rotation says that the outlining is looking good. Thank you.
All right, that's a good quote. Well done.
What's the quote?
I'm having fun just cutting. Just feels very apt sometimes. I've got this whole bank of quotes that my mods keep on adding. And I don't know what to do with it. So I'm not sure. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. So, how do I want to do this? Do I want to do it differently? To be honest, this kind of works for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just keep it the way it is. Hello, GLaDOS. How are you? I see you're up on the table, which means you want my attention. Have you just been finishing off the food? There you go. Pets. Pets. Gubbin redemption for a random quote to show up in stream. Oh no. Maybe.
So, the way Manu Smith of Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 does this is he recorded himself saying a bunch of things like that, like a bunch of quotes or whatever, and then he has it, or he pre-recorded it, and he has Stream Deck put like a cloudy like frame around the stream, and it says, and it plays like a little harp noise, like it's an internal thought. And so every time he hears the harp noise from that, he on camera will get like a thoughtful pose and look like
That's good.
yeah. But you don't really. So if you had like a thoughtful Clio that you could swap in the lower right, and you know, then it plays one of those.
That would be cool.
Zenkai says this looks so good. I wish I was good at drawing and painting. This is a coloring book. You can see that there's some very thin lines there. This was done by Hokusai as part of his 36 views of Mount Fuji, like over 100 years ago. I'm just practicing my outlining and coloring skills. I didn't draw this. But the thing is, I'm getting a better appreciation for how other people draw things. That's one of the reasons that like building model kits is good practice, because like if you understand how things fit together that other people make, you're better able to fit things together yourself or create things yourself.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, if you want to get better at drawing, one option is to
Color the greats.
other people made. Now, practicing drawing is also obviously a good one. But
I
I'm
mean,
not
I
doing
feel like that would probably help.
that would definitely help too. But like, if drawing feels too intimidating to get started, try coloring. Children color. It's a very low intensity activity.
Hello, Gladys. You can have pets. You should probably be on the other chair, though. I know that's your sister's chair, but it is what it is. Deal with it.
Will the other one come fight over it if...
No, the other one's gone. Oh, she's gone to the Twitch blanket, which is their favourite spot.
Mhm.
Which is arguably why GLaDOS is bothering me, because her sister's got the Twitch blanket.
Mhm. Mazer T says, I just finished editing a video for the first time, and it was a lot harder than I assumed, so I wanted to say I appreciate all the work going into YouTube. Thank you, Mazer.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you're messing around with it, too.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously. Video editing is a real pain. And that's one of the reasons that, like, I'm very particular about my tools. Because it's like, if you have it set up the right way, there are certain things you can streamline and get more efficient at, even though it's still going to be a time-consuming process. You know, you can really refine the process. But yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Unlike usual. I tried to go to bed like super early yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized we had a really warm afternoon, so I turned off the heat to ventilate the apartment a little bit.
Okay.
I'm like lying in bed, and I'm like, oh, I need to go turn the heat back on so it doesn't get too cold and the pipes don't freeze or whatever. And then I'm like, well, if I'm getting out of bed anyway, I can microwave some artichoke dip for myself. And then it's like, you know, and I gotta walk past the pinball machine, and they're like, I can play some pinball and listen to a book on tape for a while.
Dang it, Joe!
Okay, now in fairness, Cleo, this was my Pathfinder game last night was canceled, so this was like at 8:30 at night. Normally I go to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, and I was like, I'm gonna go to bed super early so I can be awake for Cleo's stream tomorrow. And so even after all that goofing off, I ended up cleaning a bunch of stuff. I still got to bed by 12:30, so I got 7 hours of sleep, which is more than usual.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't the 11 I was hoping for.
I got up early today because I never get to the gym on these craft stream days because of, you know, the fact that it's craft stream. Hey, Cat Dog continued their sub. Thank you very much. Good to have you. So yeah, I got up early today, went to the gym, and now I'm home and I hurt all over. So,
Oh no.
Yeah.
I will say, from a health standpoint, this is not necessarily as good as going to the gym, but having the pinball machine, so I'm like actually like up and about and like moving around. So like, instead of me just coming back to the computer and slumping in the chair and playing like, you know, Civilization for another 4 hours or something, it's like, okay, I could, if I go to the pinball machine and start playing, I could play for maybe 90 minutes before I'm like, okay, I've been standing for a while. I'm gonna go lay down. You know?
Yeah.
It's not just like I'm gonna sit here and play Civ for indefinitely, you know. And it also, I'm like not looking at a screen the whole time, and you know, so it actually is a rest for my eyes and stuff compared to going back to the computer.
I think, you know, having reasons to get out of the chair is a good one, particularly for people like us whose job is basically to sit down and do things in front of a screen.
Well, honestly, even playing the Pokemon game, I'm able to do longer streams with it, I'm realizing, because the controllers are here, I'll put them out on the camera here for anybody who hasn't seen these Nintendo Switch controllers. They're not connected to each other, right? You've got these little wristband things on them, and so I can move my hands independently while I'm playing the game, and I can be stretching and moving around and moving. And also, one of the things I decided to do is try and have characters who have different, since the game has like 20 characters that have and a bunch of NPCs or whatever, some of the voices are quieter than others. And so I do this thing where, like, for the loud characters, I lean back in the chair and I'm like, oh ho, your Pokemon research is going well. And then other people, I'm like, I'm not sure that this is the best idea. and I kind of lean in, and so I'm
Mhm.
constantly leaning away from and toward the mic, and I'm moving my arms around. So it's a lot more
Active.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
which
you,
is nice.
Siren, for the 2-month resub. Mega hype. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to building more reasons to get up out of my seat because sitting is comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and we probably shouldn't be doing it constantly. Okay.
That's one of the reasons I like living at a pedestrian scale too, is because it's like you don't have to be like, oh no, I gotta go do something. I'm gonna go sit in the car for 30 minutes to get there. It's like, okay, I'm gonna grab a grocery bag or something, go for a walk.
Mm-hmm. That seemed reasonable. Might have to stop at some point soon because my hands are all crampy.
Oh no.
I know.
I'm feeling pretty good about this, but there's actually a whole bunch more to do with the trees,
Mm-hmm.
where I need to put in definition for branches and stuff. But yeah. When you say you need to wrap up soon, you thinking like a half hour, or are you thinking like?
I'm thinking like a half hour, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I could go another half hour easy.
Okay.
And I'd probably be about done in about a half hour anyway.
There you go.
So that was the thing, is I was looking at this, I was like, oh, okay, there's enough here that I don't want to end it now, but like there's not enough where I'm like, and next stream we'll finish this off, and that'll be 3 hours worth of stuff,
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand. Just trying not to screw things up, which is new for me.
Yeah, Cleo.
Because I'm doing this with my hand, and it's like, it's not helping. It's not helping at all. I have some redemptions for... What do you have redemptions for, NJ? I haven't followed the conversation enough to figure out what's going on.
There we go. I'm messing with the lighting a little bit. I think that looks more closer to true color on the camera now than it was.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody following along at home who's like, oh, I'm really invested in this, I want to make sure the colors look good.
Clue immediately put on notification. All right, Clumily, yeah, that's true, but stop it. Stop being accurate.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Kitty Beth says, I have mobility issues with my shoulder, so not having to reach across the midline to use a video gaming controller is a life changer. That's the thing, is like it's way different having the separate controllers. Like, it's just better. But yeah, I used to play like Smash Brothers with the nunchuck and the controller behind my head. Like, so I could just relax and lean back in the chair and like have it back there.
It does sound neat. Thing is, I've not really done console gaming since I was a kid, so console controllers feel really weird in my hands. They feel clunky. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, there are a lot of games for the Switch that have multiplayer on them, like Mario Kart and stuff. So if you got one and a capture card, we could totally do some stuff together.
I do not have a capture card. I have the one Switch that you cannot get a...
You have the no dock Switch?
Yeah.
The light? Okay.
The light, that's the one. Yeah,
because I was going to say, because the capture cards are... I can recommend a pretty good one. It's about... The one I got is the Elgato 4K 60 Pro or something. It's like $250, but I've worked with other capture equipment in the past, and this is like ludicrously better. Like, it's the most high-end one they offer, but I'm looking at it, or when I was testing it the first time, I like was shocked at how performant it was. So yeah,
That sounds cool. I mean,
I
I
don't.
like I say, I don't have a console, so
Yeah,
when I get a console that I need it for, I will let you know. And I will come back and go, Joe, you remember that thing you were saying? And then you'll go, no. And I'll go, right, we had this conversation about capture cards.
we did. I vaguely recall that.
And then you said you'd have a conversation with me when you needed a recommendation. And I'll go, yes, this is that time, Joe.
Oh. Okay.
Just plan out our future conversations.
Yeah, just put it on a note card or something.
Yeah. This is the conversation that we said we were going to have.
It's easier to practice for that and make a note to have the conversation again than to write down the suggestion now.
Yeah. 100%.
100% easier. But, yeah. But wait, you said you haven't had a console for years, but you do have a Switch Lite.
I don't consider it a console.
Because it's a handheld only?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I realise that's probably splitting hairs, but, you know.
Okay, yeah, I was surprised you had the Switch Lite at all when you said that, because I was like, oh, I thought you didn't have any. Okay. So.
Yeah, well... I had console... my last console was... PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's been a while.
Gotcha.
This is cute. Are you talking about my journal or the fact that I have a Switch? Because, you know, I think I've done extra cute this month. This month has been super cute.
Oh, yeah, that does look great.
Everyone take a drink. PS2 was my first console. Again, I don't consider handheld consoles. So, so it wasn't the Game Boy. My first one that was actually mine, not the first one I played, was the Mega Drive, the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, I had the Genesis. That was my first console that was actually mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to do something like this? Well, it didn't end up. Please remember that this is my job, and don't judge your abilities based off what I'm doing, because this is work. We're at work. So, you had a ColecoVision. ColecoVision. Don't know what that is.
ColecoVision. It's a nice.
It's a nice. Does it have Mario on it? Because it sounds the way it's pronounced. It should have Mario on it.
It's a me. A Mario. But yeah, I was gonna say, which Switch games do you actually have?
Animal Crossing, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I'm more likely to play a city builder than I am to do anything intense on the Switch. You know, so I like my chill stuff.
I was kind of worried about getting the capture card for the Switch because the Switch was always what I played like with my kid to relax and stuff. And not something that I streamed, and I kind of liked having that boundary there.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
It's been just fantastic. Also, my kid is way more interested in my streams now. Like, she's like, she's like, Daddy, why don't you go play Arceus so I can watch? Like, that's one of the reasons I've been streaming it so much. And then but then when we get done with the stream, like, I'll go take her for a walk or something, and we'll talk about like the choices I made. So, like, she's actually paying attention and, like, engaging with me about it, even though she's not, like, in chat during the stream.
That's cute.
It is. It's nice.
Cute as heck.
Um,
I have played Stardew Valley.
but yeah, one thing though is that the games that I played with her, I'm also finding I don't want to play on stream as much
Mm-hmm.
because, like, for example, I played Mario Odyssey with her for the first time,
Yeah.
my first time through the game. Mario Odyssey is like, with the second player, the other person controls Mario's hat, which is way more helpful than you would think. And so then, like, I tried playing it on stream, and my daughter's like, "Oh, I really liked watching you play it on stream without me." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not as much fun having to control Mario and the hat. Like I'd rather not stream it because I don't have you to play with. Like, it's, I don't know."
It's very cute, Joe. Very cute. Oh, quite interested in the Stream Deck if and when it becomes available. Oh, the Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's the new Valve Linux console. I am excited about handheld Linux stuff, but unfortunately, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to buy one for, like, my use case. Like, I end up having to have a good enough gaming laptop anyway to use as a fallback streaming machine. And also I need a high-end laptop for my freelance work and for my video editing. So at the point where you've already got a high-end laptop, having a high-end laptop and a Stream Deck feels like a bit of an extravagance. But then again, so is renting a pinball machine. So who am I?
Who are you to judge, to be fair?
Yeah, you know what? I'm an extravagant person, Cleo. That's just what we're doing now. Hey, if you want to fund my extravagances, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat.
I'm at the I was speaking to the accountant, and I mentioned that I wanted a house, and he says, right, so this is my recommendation for you. Put as little on your expenses as you can possibly get away with, because what that will do is when you go to get a house, that will raise your income so you can get more money.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I kind of want the rebate now. I kind of want the discount now.
Yeah. You can't. If you claim it as an expense, then it doesn't count as income in that case. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I've got literally the things that I've got is my new monitor and my patron server stuff. Those are the only two expenses that I'm going to put on.
And here's what I will say too, though, is if you are technically running a real business, it looks kind of suspicious if you have zero claimed expenses too.
True.
So you saying, yeah, I have a business, but it doesn't have many expenses because I'm mostly using equipment I already own. So I replace a few things a year. I pay some server costs. It's like, oh, okay, this year the few things was like a monitor. Okay, and then the server costs. Okay. Like, whereas if you come in and you're like, I have zero expenses for my business, they're going to go, that's a front or a scam. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be setting off flags there too. So yeah, it seems like having a couple things, even if it's not, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Is it a nice monitor? It is the nicest monitor I've ever owned. It's a proper gaming monitor. So, mostly because I couldn't get anything else based on.
Yeah, that is one kind of nice thing about the pandemic is I don't feel too guilty about paying extra for the nicer one that I kind of wanted anyway, because the entry-level model is sold out. Because like the 4K monitor that I got is super nice. And like, but for the streaming setup I've got, I need to be able to play the game in 1080p on the same monitor that has the chats. And so it needs to be a monitor that's higher resolution than 1080p, because otherwise I'd be spending more money on moderators, and which I'm sure they would love if I had more hours for them, but like I'm just not at a point revenue wise where I can justify that.
Yeah. That is the problem, isn't it?
So it's easier to have the one-time expensive, slightly more expensive monitor to fit more stuff on the screen.
No, I don't think I ever made a playlist for it. There might be one, you know. I generally do make playlists for all the different series that I did in the past. But yeah, I've kind of gone strictly Minecraft on the channel. Like all my non-Minecraft games are played on Twitch these days, so
yeah, that's the thing too, is like when I was playing Pokemon, I was like, I don't know how I would edit this to be a good YouTube series. So I'm glad I don't have to. I can just play for 50 hours straight and have fun. Like,
yay!
But it is fun. It's nice. It's nice having games that are fun to play.
This is true. Told you before, Cam.
What'd you tell Cam? Oh, strikes for pay.
Yeah, if you guys didn't do it, I would actually just do it myself.
Mazer T tipped. I don't know what that currency symbol is. I have literally never seen this before. Hold on. I'm opening a new tab in Google. Cause, like, what is that? Israeli shekels.
What?
Oh my gosh, the symbol for Israeli shekels is like a hand grabbing another hand or something. It's weird.
That's
I've never seen this symbol before. Thank you for the 16 Israeli shekels, which let me find out what that is in US abacus beads because I have no idea. That comes out to 5 US abacus beads. Boom. Who says the video took too long to export and now it has 5 minutes black at the end and I don't know why. I can trim it, but I don't know why it did that. $1 per random minute. Oh, I probably didn't need to independently look that up. No, because you gave me the answer to the math in there. Thank you very much, Mazer T, for expanding my horizons. My face, though, will expand in when we hit our next milestone in 6 US abacus beads. Alrighty.
It's an interlocking N and U. Is it? Oh, that's an interesting one.
Oh, I don't know. It's neat though. I don't know why it's. That's one of those things. Like I'm amazed it's never come up because like
yeah,
looking at cool things in fonts and stuff is something that I've been into typography for years. Because of cartooning and doing graphic design work professionally at my previous day jobs and stuff. And so, like, even though I've never worked with shekels in any of those positions, like, any respectable typeface would have to have that symbol in it. But I don't think I've ever seen that particular symbol. Or if I have, I haven't registered it. That's so weird. It's 2 letters combined. Sheen for shekel and het for new. So they're
new
Israeli
shekels.
New shekels. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't come in here with any of those old shekels. We don't have time for that nonsense. That's great. So thank you so much to Mazer T once again for broadening my horizons and supporting the show. Appreciate you. Okay.
How do you know you won't cut the page? Yeah, as Cam says, sometimes I do cut it a little, but, you know, never enough to be noticed. And it helps if you have a super sharp scalpel, so you don't actually have to press down.
Yeah, if you're being gentle with it, it won't be too bad.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like I'm cutting at all, to be honest. I'm just going around the letters, and it just, because of how sharp it is, it just, sometimes it just peels away.
You're basically tracing.
Yeah. Like so. Mazer time! Subscribed! Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, see there are no exits.
Ooh, Mazer time. I wonder if that's somebody related to Mazer T.
Maybe.
What a coinky dink.
It's very coincidental, isn't it? Da-da-da-da. Have a sudden urge to gift Cleo. That's the joy. You can't gift me anything because you don't know where I live.
Let's see. Darth Vorthen says, "Oh, is that Hisui?" No, this is actually one of the 36 views of Mount Fuji by Hokusai. I'm gonna link you to the Met Museum's picture of the original that we are working off of here. This has been a really. I was kind of dubious when I picked this picture. I just kind of looked at it and went like, that seems like the best one. Just grab one at random because we need to start the stream. But no, I'm really enjoying the outlining element of this, which I wouldn't have anticipated.
That's cool. Hey Mayhem, how you doing? You don't have to worry about being late. I don't track. I don't have a clocking in and out system, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, technically you do. You just don't look at it. No, that's what the stream currency is.
Is it?
Yeah, no, that's a way for Twitch to track how much time people spend actually engaging with and active in streams. And because the rate at which you earn currency goes up if you're clicking that little button that shakes, and if you're talking in chat and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know
if you're participating in the bidding stuff. Yeah, that's why they added those. Was to keep track of engagement better. Hey, thank you, Ash the Cactus, for tipping 4. That puts us 2 US Abacus beads away from our next face camera expansion. Thank you for supporting the show.
Yay.
Yay. So I should mention, and I gotta grab a different URL though, because I just have the art image. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat.
Also come into onto the market of other solutions, pointing, tracking, and claim streamers wanted it. I mean, they're always going to make that sort of claim. It's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realise Joe streamed on both YouTube and Twitch. And you got a third one, haven't you?
Well, I'm not so I used to stream directly to Twitter as well, but there were some issues with the Periscope switchover, so I kind of stopped doing that some. But I do have a third chat still open in my Discord, because a lot of the people in the Discord used to hang out in the Mixer chat, and when the Mixer chat left, it was like, it's overwhelming being in here with like 800 other people or whatever on these other some nights. And so I was like, oh, well, then you can just go in the Discord, and I'll open a window from that.
That's
so
cool.
I've got like a special technically we're using the same room that we use called live event chat. So like anytime that we're like watching something live together, which in some cases is me streaming, but in other cases it's like, hey, there's a big speech going on, or an event or something. You know, that's like our private chat for like watching something as a group.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna do a quick hydration break, and I will be right back. Cleo, excuse me.
No problem. We're just chilling out here. We're just cool. So chat. How has your day been? Have you got any questions you want to ask Joe in my chat? Or ask about Joe? Because, you know, that's very important. Being able to ask questions about your favourite streamers, but not necessarily to them. Subs boost channel points, so that also motivates people to spend money on the platform. I guess. How did Joe become wonderful? I'm guessing he sold his soul. Not to the devil specifically, but to someone. I mean, you know, that's assuming Joe has a soul. What is Joe? I don't know. Best ask Joe. I mean, I always say he's a cryptid. And he is, but that's not all Joe is. You can never just define Joe by just one thing. Is Joe a good listener? Mostly, yeah. In general, yeah. What's Joe's worst accent he tries to do? Probably the Scottish one or the Irish one.
Curse me, kilts.
See? You have a kilt?
No, because so part of it is that it's hard to get the particular tartan from my grandmother's clan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like. It seems kind of dumb to get a generic one. But like if I could get the proper clan one, what I'd probably do is I would, because the other thing is, so getting the particular tartan properly made, I'd probably have to get like 10 yards of it or 30 yards of it or something stupid. So at that point, I would get like a kilt made for like all of my brothers and I, and maybe some of my cousins. Like, but then like we're talking about like, okay, now we're out like thousands of dollars maybe for like producing custom fabric and producing several kilts, and then like, oh, I should get my sister a dress and my mom a dress at that point too. And it's like, so how, it's kind of one of those like, you know, like it'd be a great like family Christmas gift one year to get everybody something, but because you can't just get one kilt in a custom tartan or an uncommon family tartan, you know. So yeah, that's, so it's one of those like back burner things. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, but the amount of effort and time and mostly money to do it right, because honestly that is something I could totally delegate. If I had the money, I could just go to my project manager and say, NJ, I need 4 kilts with these different waist sizes, for people these heights with this tartan, you know, I need here are some measurements for a few dresses, or something. Like, go get this done, and here's $3,000. But like, I don't have $3,000 to throw at something like. I don't know how much it would actually cost, but I'm assuming
what clan are you talking about?
The Hayes clan.
Hayes, okay. I don't have a secret line to kilt people, you know.
No, and you know, and
but you never know who might. Somebody in the chat might.
Yeah. And this might actually be way cheaper than I think it is, but like we're also talking about like there's going to be currency exchange rate issues if we have it produced in Scotland. There's shipping them from or you know, shipping them over from the UK. There's I'm assuming that I shouldn't start doing this. Oh no, I'm apparently muted in my own chat. Sorry, my chat. Oh, I don't have the camera back on either. So I took down the hydration break sign, but then didn't start doing anything. Okay.
I mean, you did. You started talking to me, which is arguably the main point.
Is that your answer to how do you feel about taking a break from your SMP? That noise?
Oh, no, I was just trying to get stuff off the thing without pulling up all the paper. How am I feeling about, am I enjoying the hiatus from my SMP? Yes, but I'm ready to go back to work.
I am definitely not. I feel like I've been furloughed and I want to work. It's like the whole reason I quit my job was to do this, and I can't do this right now. Like, I'm doing things that are close to it or adjacent to it, but what I didn't quit my job to become a streamer. I quit my job to do hermitcraft.
That's entirely fair.
And like it's rough. I am ready to go.
Yeah, like I say, I'm ready to go back to work. So, it's been nice, but I'm over it. But you know, we're talking about things now, so it's good. It's good.
Yep. No, I mean, I'm enjoying this stream.
I meant we're talking about Hermitcraft things in the Hermitcraft chat, which we haven't done for a few weeks. So, you know, things are moving. Just glacially slow.
Mm-hmm.
Any news on the approximate start date? For us or for you? Because we know.
I mean, we've in theory we've always known, but that doesn't mean it has stayed the same or that I have any confidence the one we have is the one that it will be either. So we
I mean, theoretically, we know. Joe, you doesn't need.
Cleo is a much more trusting soul than me, is what I'm learning here, and I would not have guessed that. I would not. So I'm learning something about my friend right now that I'm just processing.
There you go. I am a trusting soul, apparently.
Apparently. Oy, oy. Toxic Glitter says, just got here, Joe. Did you draw all that? No, this is a fancy coloring book. You can see there are some very thin gray lines underneath here, and I'm like tracing them and coloring this in. This was made by Hokusai as part of his 36 Views of Mount Fuji series. It might have been 32, but we got an extra 4 because Cleo made me laugh so much, so you get some bonus views of Mount Fuji. Also, wait, what is that on the camera there? Oh, that's the color pencil. Okay. I thought that there was something behind me on the green screen camera. I was trying to figure out what that was. It was on the art cam.
So the hermits have an approximate start date. I mean, for a given value.
Have an unreliable specific start date.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the thing is it's approximate if you say in about 5 days or if you say in about 6 months. But if you say August 27th, but probably not. That's not approximate. That's specific but unreliable. We've always had specific start dates. They're just not reliable.
Joe's not wrong.
Thank you for backing me on that, Cleo.
Oh, you know, any time.
I depend on support from folks like you in order to endure this continued trial.
Uh-huh. I'm assuming that's a JFK reference that I don't get.
No, it's just, I don't know. Like, politicians depend on people for support, but, like, no, really. It's like, thank you, Cleo. I appreciate you having my back on this.
I mean, I try.
Super Cool says, the dates are penciled in, then vigorously erased. That's a very good way. Yes, we pencil in a lot of specifics. That's how... Yeah.
Joe's having a moment. Don't mind Joe.
I've been
everybody.
a part of a lot of organizations, but the word organization kind of derives from the word organize, and that's not a good way to describe us.
No. A loose collective of individuals.
Yeah, I describe us as an artist collective, and I think that that's probably the closest that you're gonna get.
I mean, me personally, probably. We're definitely a collection of something.
Mm-hmm.
Are we more of a gang or a crew? We're more of an...
I would say an artist collective. I don't think a gang or a crew are either applicable. I'm trying to get some, trying to use short, sharp strokes with the color pencil here to give some directionality to the branches and leaves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one needs to come up a little bit.
But it means I have to keep resharpening the pencil because otherwise they get too blurred.
This is adorable, yo. It's like the cutest thing I've made.
That is pretty cute. What are those little things coming out of the T and the R? Are those little?
The plants, like if I
are those the stickers you cut out?
Yeah.
Or you? Oh, that's cute.
And I got tiny little baby cactuses as well that I can cut out.
Very nice.
Thank you. Minecraft is an art in many ways.
No, Minecraft is a medium. It's like if you said like color pencils are an art. It's like drawing is an art. Coloring is an art. Color pencils are a medium.
I was reading that, Joe. That wasn't my opinion.
No, I'm disagreeing with the person in your chat.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine.
I know you're reading that.
All right. I didn't know if you did because it sounded like you were chastising me, and I'm like,
no, I'm chastising the person in your chat because I'm rude to people. But I really think these color pencil dashes I'm doing here are coming in well. In terms of like giving the trees a sense of branches and stuff.
That's cool.
It's a nice little texture we're getting as a result.
Well done, Joe.
Yeah, thank you. Sven Lu says, I would say that Minecraft itself is also art, as are all games. But as we use it, it's a medium. In the context of the conversation we were already having. Leo thinks context is meaningless.
No, Joe, I just think like words are meaningless. And life and you know, just feeling fatalistic today is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. When people ask, Zombie Cleo, what's your niche in the Hermitcraft ecosystem? Oh, I'm the fatalist.
My niche is arguably armor stands.
Mm-hmm. And fatalism.
And fatalism. Okay, Joe, I think I need to stop.
Oh no, I've exhausted Cleo.
Sometimes you do, but that's okay.
Yeah. Alright, well, it has been very fun hanging out with you, Cleo.
Same. And I will see you tomorrow, so.
Will you?
I would expect so.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to hang up and say goodbye to my chat.
Alrighty. Bye, Cleo. Bye, Cleo's
Bye,
chat.
Joe. Thanks for hanging out with me.
You too. Thanks.
Okay, chat. How are we doing? Let's see where we're going. Where am I sending people off to today? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Who is up? Who is about? Okay, I am going to send you off to Impulse. Because, you know, Impulse. Okay. You're very welcome, Marina. All right, I'll see you lot next time. Have a good day. And I'll probably see you later. 9 o'clock. Check your time down in the schedule. And bye-bye.